everybody, and welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone, May 2021. I'm Cater, and I am joined here today by Quark.
Yes, hello, and I'm hearing an echo, so don't mind me getting confused.
Mute the stream.
Wait.
Anyways, we are here in the
Okay, there we go.
first map of
I
our
found the right
pool.
click button. Apologies.
Understandable.
Let's try this again.
Alright, hello, I'm Cater, and I'm joined here by Quark.
Yes, hello, and we are, as Cater said, streaming It's Dangerous to Go Alone, May 2021. We're going to be starting out with the Adamant editions versus the Majestic boots, the random name generator doing just its thing.
Man, I mean, the names are always good, and It's Dangerous to Go Alone. They might be a pain to say, but hey, they're entertaining. We're gonna be starting off here on tower control on Monte Maria, which is it's a fun one to be sure. I don't mind this one that much. Monte's not one of my favorite stages, but it's cool. It's got the grates in mid, that let you walk around on top, and I really like that addition to this map actually because it lets people have a vantage point, or you can shoot people down on those grates. It's a really cool addition and usage of grates that I don't see in a lot of other stages.
Yeah, the grates are very useful. It's also tower control of this map. There are a lot of tight corners trying to push the tower. I think specials like missiles or booyah are being incredibly useful here because not all of those tight corners pushing the tower, but your opponents can be lurking behind all sorts of ledges, which makes it really useful how specials we can clear them out easily. Any thoughts on what weapons we're gonna see out of these teams?
I really hope to see a machine or something of the sort come out. Monta's actually a really nice machine map, just because machine does really well on level ground, low ground, as well as using this. It's in itself a slosher, so it can slosh over small ledges and use those small slopes that are present in a lot of parts on Monta to his advantage. Don't know if we have machine players on either team, but it's one of my favorites to watch on this map.
I mean, given that Grace is here and Kato, I know them. There's gonna be a junior. There will
yes.
be a junior.
Did somebody say junior?
It would say junior. Fingus. Yes, power Fingus plus this team. It's a long story, don't ask. But yes, the power of Fingus plus Majestic moods.
We love IPL stuff.
Yes, but we are going to be starting fairly soon, and as we were talking about weapons, another weapon I think you're probably hoping for what is a C-Jet, or any other kind of ray weapon. It's going to be very strong here. Monta's very narrow, it's tower control, so you have the effectively GG ray unless you have some armor or something to counter it. But even then, object shooter shreds armor. And
I mean, ever since
right into this match.
Ever since we've seen games like that Rift versus Radiance match with the Ray that failed to be a GG Ray, it's always in question, and we're gonna be seeing blasters come out of both teams. It's been a while since I've seen these custom blaster on one end, and is that a range blaster? Vanilla range on
this. Vanilla, I think that's suction bomb and rain, but that is suction bomb and rain. Yes.
Well then, not something we expected to see right on this first match here, but hey, it's really cool. I believe that's from the additions in the pink, and the Majestic moods are going to be going down 2 down at the very start of this game, unfortunately, but a very nice bomb pick here stalls the push. Unfortunately, Junior gonna go down to that rain, though. Yes, somebody did say
the
Junior.
Blaster and getting a nice pick on the Blobber.
Ooh.
But getting taken out from behind, the Booyah coming out. And we're seeing the Adamant additions, they seem to have an early advantage. Machine, like you said, coming out, going for some picks. The Dynamo, managing to stay alive, fighting for their life, trading out that K-Pro. But it's not gonna be enough to continue the push. The Majestic moods are still a bit forced back. They're still looking for an opening. The Blaster getting a nice pick on that Junior. Because I think they're really weak at this, but the Range Blaster, very unorthodox pick, but it seems to be working. Though they are getting forced.
Oh my goodness!
Taking out the Blaster of the opposing team, getting another direct before they go down.
That was really clean out of them. I mean, like you said, not that common of a pick, but they are wreaking havoc with it here. The additions hopping again on the tower. They have that Booyah Bomb coming out. They're gonna be extending this lead. They are not quite past the first checkpoint, but they have taken it. And even though that push might end here, especially going 3 down, the Blaster getting a pick there, but unfortunately not gonna be enough to continue that push. It is still a very nice place to be because it is going to make subsequent pushes a lot easier for them. However, the moods are going to take this opportunity, that 3-down opportunity, and try and create a push of their own with the rain coming out. They've got specials online, but a Booyah Bomb is going to immediately go to the tower and buy the addition some time there.
we see yet another pick coming out of this range blaster. It looks like they're fragging for their team with 10k doing a hell of a lot of damage. And the Booyah Bomb's picking up the K-Pro, but the lead is still firmly in the side of the Adamant Editions. The Majestic moods, I just thought that said missiles, I don't know why, but Majestic missiles are cool too. But yeah, they look like they tried to start a push, but immediately going 2 down yet again. That Dynamo dropping down,
Ooh, the
getting
wipe.
2 assists, and that's going to be a full wipe for the side of Majestic moods, and Adamant Editions is going to get the chance to extend their lead even further.
Yeah, Foxy on the Dynamo in a really nice place. They have the Booyah Bomb. They have the armor for themselves as well. They can make full use of Dynamo's range and fall off. They're getting a very nice pick. Their team the second checkpoint, and already they are past it, below 40 right now. This is a huge push for Adamant Editions as the Blaster, again, putting down so much pressure as we've seen them do the entire game. They're off on the left side, holding their own, while their teammates are just continuing to push the tower. That Booyah Bomb's going to get a pick too, and although the members of the Majestic Moods are scrambling to stop this push, it seems they've halted it for now. Getting all the way to that third checkpoint at 21 is a very nice place for the Editions to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to get to that lead, given the fact we just haven't seen the Edition. That's the Moods, that's a good place. Oh wait, no, I do have the teams back. Where it's okay, never mind. Excuse me. But yeah, the Moods are gonna have a lot of trouble getting back in. They're popping, especially, they're going 2 down. Now, Booyah, it looks like he was just panically popped out to get something. It does get something luck, otherwise that would have been a huge win. Another rain coming out. The K-Pro takes down the Blaster, which is going to be really important here.
Ooh,
getting
a
from the
triple!
Dynamo as well. Yeah, getting delayed triple, like you said, and that's gonna hopefully open things up. They need to paint up. They need to make sure they don't get picked off because the range is respawned, and the Zap is sharking there. And I'm sure the machine is the machine's over there and right, getting ready to take them out. The Blaster is already back. The machine does go down, and Majestic Moods does have the advantage, but they lose their K-Pro and they lose one of their only specials. They'll miss the Inkjet's coming online, but the Inkjet can't really find anything. They're a little too far back. It doesn't look like they had a great launch point, and they're gonna get taken out. I don't know if that's a suction bomb or the main weapon that took them out. The Blaster getting yet another nice pick, getting all the way up to 20 KA actually. I think that's does that say 20?
Yeah, it does. Crunchy stream be like
crunch. Yes, and 10 out of them. But yeah, 20 KA, they're popping off on stream. Nice job to them.
Yeah, we see the Blob Lover finally take them out, but not before the Editions get all the way into the Moods elbow street. I don't remember what that's called, this back alley part yet again. They are not letting up the pressure at all. The Dynamo getting their Booyah Bomb at the perfect time to let themselves stay alive, and they are able to jump out of that. Really nice maneuvering from them. We are in the last 12 seconds here, and Moods are not in the best place. Their juniors down, so they don't have their armor, and the tower's all the way in their base.
Jump.
Oh, the Dynamo!
That was crazy. I don't know how they managed to have a safe jump in and all that fire. They still get an assist and a kill off of that. The Adamant Edition's doing a hell of work, putting out a whole lot of work in, just managing to get but doing a very good job getting the first game, and it's gonna be 1-0. Majestic Moods is gonna need to take the next 2 games if they want to win this set.
Yeah, I mean, look, 22 KA, and then also 15 out of the Dynamo. That range really just popped off there. I mean, like, they did everything that a Blaster did. We saw them getting great directs both up close as well as at the tip of their range, and they used their ability to shoot over ledges, like, to the fullest extent. It was really, really nice to see their display of skill there.
Yeah, using the area and hitting so many directs too, like, I don't know how they hit after them. I know I don't have the enough to do that. This is why I play shooters and slowers. This is why I mean, maybe Squeezer requires me. This is why I mostly play shooters and like Tri-Slasher, because I don't need to aim.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
I do need to aim, but not as much as this Blaster players hitting blockers. Maybe they should pick up Squid first, like, their aim is...
Oh my god, that sounds terrifying. Moving on, we're going to be going to Rainmaker on Sturgeon Shipyard, which could be entirely different. Sturgeon's a pretty wide open map in that mid. However, you know, it's pretty... Sturgeon just depends on it really just depends on which path the Rainmaker decides to take. That factors into the areas that need to be controlled, because you might want to go through the pit, or you could go, a lot of the teams choose to go through that top left path, but that's really, really narrow, so then you have to push up through that and avoid maybe a raid coming out from the other team. It truly just depends.
I'll be interested if we see any comp changes. I'm sure we'll see the junior come out again. I would be interested to see if the range comes out, because the range did a whole lot of damage as we saw. But I'm not sure if they want to use a ranged blaster in a more cramped map like
That's fair.
Surgeon Rainmaker. It can be effective. I've seen Rapid Pro pulled out in Surgeon for some modes, but it really depends on how comfortable they are playing range on kind of a map where you can get very easily flanked. I think we will see the machine again. I'll be interested if anyone does want to play ranged weapons. Maybe you could, instead of a Kent's Dynamo, a V Dynamo could come out. But that seems unlikely. But if you did pull out a V Dynamo, you'd have Mines and Ray, which is, on this map, Mine in the right place, it completely kills a push. Because of the jump,
Oh, yeah.
you have to make him left block.
Yeah, like you were saying, that left block jump, Toxic Mist, a bomb, any sort of...
Oh, the Hydra!
Oh, okay! And yes,
And
the
the
range
range
is
coming
coming
out, and-
back. Ooh, there's a
No, this
V-Jet! V-Jet there,
going-
so...
That's
Interesting
a
comp
very
here.
unorthodox comp. Both sides, because we have the...
Wait, Double
effectively-
Junior!
Yeah, Double Junior and a V-Shot, actually. That's a weird pick. I would have, I would have made... I think I feel like it would have made more sense to have the ancient of the missiles here.
You play
But I suppose it
T-Tech
is
and
comfort.
K-Shot.
Well, yeah,
You're
but look at all the
biased.
rest of the I mean, looking at the rest of the specials, having something with a bit more range would help.
Okay, that's fair, that's
But
fair.
that's 2 down immediately for the side of Adamant additions. I also said anchovies, and they're not anchovies. They're not small fish. So Majestic Moods goes 2 down in response. Looks like the blast. The Dynamo got some picks, I think. Or not? What's the? Oh no, someone killed someone. Oh, that's a blaster, I think. And the Adamant additions, despite initially going 2 down, is going to have the first pick, and that ranged blaster, even despite the kind of troll it has, starts to wreak some havoc, and
Ooh,
Adamant
bubble
additions is going to
picks.
push 52. So the bubbles are going to come out and shut them down. But Adamant additions is still going, and that K52, oh, that's not the K52. I thought it was K52, but the V-Jet's going to manage to stay alive for quite some time. Now Majestic Moods has a lot to go with.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to take control of mid this left area here as well. That range is already there though, and the Hydra's not in a great position to fight them. Thankfully, their team is going to help them. They get so much thrown at them. I mean, really harassing the anchor here much, but unfortunately, that Rainmaker is not going to get carried very far past mid as they do go down. I mean, Double Junior, I feel like although they do have nice paint, it just might suffer against the high damage and killing. Oh! Yeah, that's kind of what I meant there, as Majestic Moods unfortunately gets fully wiped there, and the range is already getting pigs, basically spawn camping at this point. They do get taken out, their teammates not getting much, but the Hydra getting picked out by missiles. That V-Jet proving to be a really nice pick here, and again, they are staying alive for such a long time here, letting their teammates jump to them as well. That Dynamo's gonna stay alive. All of the members of Adamant Editions are just displaying their individual skills so well here, and their teamwork as well. They're all staying alive to let their teammates come in and help them. The Dynamo is still here. I'm not sure how they avoided those bombs, but they are just sitting in this corner.
Sharky like they're playing Carbon or something, and it doesn't pay off in the end.
Oh, yes,
or it does. They get a
does!
pick. I didn't think it would, but I would have expected them to go for a horizontal flick to crush as many as they could. But instead they get a vertical flick, take one out. I'd like to note though that Adamant Editions I think is struggling, or not Adamant Editions, Majestic Moods is struggling in part. So they do have that Hydra, which is going to counter the other backlines. But other than that, the Hydra's going to get countered by the range blaster, and then the Double Junior is going to be in a bad matchup against pretty much all the weapons Adamant Editions are running, so the higher damage or the longer range. And similar with the shot as well, though it has a bit better matchup because of the aggressiveness and the burst bombs.
Yeah,
and Adamant Editions
unfortunately.
is looking to make a move now.
Unfortunately, though, this also brings into the question the lack of lethal subs. Actually, Moods is actually moving right now as I'm talking about that. Fortunately, they get picked off just a few points away from the lead, but what I was going to say is that Moods has a lack of lethal subs on their team. All they have is a Splat Bomb from the V Junior. The Kenta Junior has Torpedo, and then they have Burst Bomb, and they have Mines. So, like, with that K52, their walls are basically just going to be there unless they're against the V Junior, because, you know, lethal bombs are very nice to have against walls.
Can't tread wall.
Yeah,
the
Junior
Hydra
can't
will
tread
definitely
walls.
help a lot.
That is true, that is true.
Additions, while we're talking about subs, has the burst, the spot bomb and the suction bomb as offensive, and then they've got a really nice defensive combo of walls and mist.
Oh
which
yeah,
is gonna
those are
deny
great.
all the paths between the mist slowing anyone down who tries to turn towards it, and if they want to keep going, they're gonna run into a wall as well. So I think that's really gonna help. And the blaster's looking for some picks. I don't know how they They're still dodging. They're still alive. I don't know how they dodged those bubbles, but they did. The Rainmaker goes down, the other one goes down, and the Blaster does go down.
Yeah,
That's
3 down there.
It's a 3-down situation. If Majestic could have done is they could have tried, if they've been able to get to the left path, what they could have done instead of doing what they did here is just if the spinner was up, they could have just jumped into the void and they would have got the lead actually.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. And I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago that you could do this on this map, but that's not.
Oh yeah, it's a funny,
they opted to run into a more exposed right pathway because they didn't have enough paint up, and now they're going to be in a bad situation. All Adamant Additions has to do is stall.
And it looks like that's what's going to happen. We have 22 seconds left. Hydra's trying to use their range to put down some pressure. You saw them trying to try the Rainmaker shield, but actually they're just going to get flanked. 2 down on the side of Moods right now, and oh, they've grabbed it. Somebody managed to make it past Additions, take the lead by 1.
Oh my god, what? I looked at away from the screen for a second. They get the lead.
Yeah, now everybody just looked away for a second, and that was all the Moods needed to take the lead, and now we are in overtime with the Adamant Additions, a ticking time bomb. They have to make it all the way back through mid. That Blaster is down.
That's gonna make it,
yeah, the worst time possible for them to be down. Yeah, they have that Booyah at the ready, but they don't have anything else. The V-Jet's gonna go down too. Rainmaker is forced to drop
they both
into mid.
At the same time.
Oh, and the Rainmaker just goes down. I mean, I for sure thought Additions had that match, but all it took was for somebody on Moods to weasel past and take it by just 1 point.
I didn't see that.
I did not. I just saw somebody grab it.
Just because of the movement that Junior can do. I don't think it was. All I can say is it probably wasn't the Dynamo, but
look at that, the Hydra with 17 KA as well. I mean, yeah, what I saw was like I saw somebody grab the Rainmaker and pick it up, and for a second I actually thought it was somebody on Additions just grabbing it and taking it back to stall, because people do that when there's only a few seconds left. You can just take it back to your side of the stage where the opponents can't reach, and you'll be good to go. But it was actually somebody on Moods, and so the fact that they managed to just squeeze past and get that, I mean, wow. We're gonna be heading to Clan Blitz, a New Albacore Hotel for the last round, the last match of this set, excuse me. Which I like Albacore. That's because I play long-range weapons, but I mean, I like Albacore. Clans on Albacore's
player be like.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I know. Well,
I know you too.
well, clams on Albacore actually tend to be really interesting, in my opinion, just because all of the ways that you have to push end up are either you have to go over grates, or it's really long and narrow, or both. Like that one on the right, you have to go over the really long grates and you have to go down that long narrow path. And the area around that basket is really small, so things like just a lethal bomb or a Booyah bomb or bubbles can take out a lot of opponents and can really, really help with area control.
Yeah, and speaking of bubbles, Squeezer's a really good pick. I've been picking up recently, so I'm also I'm joining the biased for new Overcore clans.
Squeezer's great on this map.
So,
I love seeing foil Squeezer played here.
Yeah, what you're saying about the right path though, with the long grates and the long path, the opposite is that if you got an Inkjet or you got a Tent or any long range, if you set up there with, like, say, a flanking Splatling or a Dynamo, if you can hold it down for long enough and not get hit from above, that's actually going to let you
Ooh, Sploosh 7, 10 mini. We're seeing comp changes come out of both teams here.
Yeah,
Moods are choosing.
Surprised.
Yeah, the double junior's coming back too.
The double junior, I mean, I can see that here. So a longer range would be perfect. The fact they're running double junior Sploosh and a Hydra, they've got the range in the Hydra, and they do get 2 down. I think that's gonna hurt to the end because there's gonna be the mini, there's gonna be the range. They're gonna need to close the distance over the grates. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I assume they're just gonna keep up pressure with all the sub spam that we're gonna see coming out of all these weapons and all the movements. They just don't get hit. And the Tent was Tent and mini a really good pick, with Splatlings being really maneuverable along grates and Tent, well, big ass shield be like, yeah. So it looks like they switched Rapid Blasters. That looks to be the Rapid with Bubbles, I think. And a Sorella Tent? Yeah, that's a Sorella Tent.
Huh, Curling Bum Rush.
So
I mean...
And Wall. The Wall's gonna be the important one here, as I'm sure you
True, not particularly orthodox, but hey, who said you needed to be orthodox? We're gonna see just a little bit of a stalemate here, as both teams are getting members down, but neither team is getting a big enough opening to push. I mean, I thought Mood did have a bit of an opening. We're seeing it this way from somebody, though. It looks like they did get on the other side. Unfortunately, they might have gotten taken out. Not quite sure what happened to them, but their teammates weren't able to act on that. And so it is just going to be back for the fight to mid. additions right now. Looks like they're in general mid control. They have that power clam behind them, and also one down on the side of Moods. They have that curling bomb rush on the side of the tent as well. It looks like they're just going to be building up some more special, some more force behind them. That tent, there's the shield that we were talking about, as well as the wall, as well as the curling bombs. They're doing everything they can on that right path there. The rain's getting popped as well. Additions really just needing to move forward here as the Zap's trying to choose which path to take.
Oh. Also, speaking of
too.
Swirl Pet, I'd like to note that apparently it was considered at one point to give Swirl a tent
Armor and wall.
Yes, armor and wall,
Yeah.
which would have been incredibly. That would have been terrifying. I would have said. But yes, we do see Adamant Editions getting an early score. It's not much. Majestic Moods can easily come back for this, and it looks like they're in position to do so. They've got the power clip. They're going in, but they've got the hammer. They got the bubbles, and I can't really see what's going on here. But they do manage to get the score, and they get the lead. They're throwing Clemson like crazy, just standing right there, dodging all those shots. The Hydra moving into flank, trying to do some damage. They do get down to that is 53. Okay, I can read. Yes.
That's okay. We're Splatoon players. We can't read. That's already known.
We're TOs, so we've gained reading privileges.
Reading privileges only of the rules. Anything else we just can't read. That's okay though.
Okay, that's how it works. Yes. Yeah, I really like that. It's unfortunate they weren't able to jump in with that pity clam, which would do a lot more damage, but still, they've taken a fairly substantial lead. The Additions can certainly push back, because it's his clam blitz, so...
Yeah, that's true. We do have about 2 minutes left in this match as we're seeing the mini get nice picks. Oh, pick singular. Unfortunately getting taken out by the Sploosh, who gets a double. Sploosh 7. Yeah, I mean...
alive, but fighting for the... They're throwing out those bombs. I don't... Oh, wait, that's a right... Okay. It looks like the Adamant Editions are in a place to strike right now. They got the rain. They're right next to the basket, but they just can't get through. The two go down on the side of Adamant Edition, or Majestic Moods about it.
Full wipe on the side
They're
of
gonna
Moods.
get the lead here, and the power clam is coming in. But they missed
misses!
the throw.
Oh!
It looks like they got stuck or something, because I saw them
Yeah.
stop moving.
They still get it in, though.
They're all the way down to 8. They only need 3 more clams, and they might be able to finish it here and now, if they can just get a couple more picks. And they do get the picks. There's the clams there. There's one more clam under basket. Doesn't look like they're quite gonna manage to get KO. Though, and the Majestic Moods will manage to mop that up, but the Adamant Editions still have someone on the base, that Range Buster, putting in work. Getting 20 KA yet again, if you look at the counter. And really just... Oh, they get another pick up to 21k. They've got Majestic Moods pinned in their base. And how did they get the Sploosh? Oh my god.
I'm wow, the range blaster. I mean, they're getting streamed. I suppose they wanted to show off the full extent of their skills. And in come in the Additions with yet another push. They've got the picks, they've got the clams, they've got everything they need to end it just right now. As you see, they are unfortunately 2 down, though. Somebody is coming in with that power clam, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it as they are on their own. The members, yeah, they do not quite make it. The members of Additions getting cleaned up by Moods underneath their basket. However, we still have the range blaster there. Okay, they finally get down. We've got 18, 17 seconds left right now for Moods to make some form of a push. The juniors going in on their own, actually taking advantage of a slight lapse in defense on the Addition side, but they swiftly get cleaned up, and their teammates are trying to follow up, but it looks like they're just not able to move fast enough as they were so ahead of their team, and that's going to be a game 3 for the Additions.
Yeah, that is going to be the set for Additions. It would have been 3-0, but Moods did have that crazy they put up a
that's Remaker for you, you know?
Yeah, the first game was very one-sided, but Majestic Moods does seem to have come back.
24 KA?
Yeah, that's crazy. They're popping off on stream. I mean, Range Buster, you know what? If any teams are watching and looking for a midline pick, that you maybe shoot them a deer or something. You definitely want to pick up a good Range Blaster player. I've run into a couple other people who use the weapon in my time. It's scary. Also, as you probably saw, I guess, the Hydra, it's a great weapon to annoy anchors with because of range and then be able to kill them fairly easily.
Yeah, go out, go harass those anchors. I say as an anchor player myself. But yeah.
CS player.
Not really. But yeah, the power of range should just abuse all of those that they were given the rain for chip damage, as well as, like you were saying, to take out the Hydra and anybody else on ledges thinking that blocks would protect them. Got area of effect. But again, great skill, great display of skill we were seeing actually out of both of those teams there. I mean, the mood that member that managed to slip past in the very last few seconds of the match, that was crucial for them.
Yeah, and I believe we were going to be taking a bit of a break while we're waiting for round 2 of this tournament. Please stay tuned.
Hello everybody and welcome back to May 21. It's dangerous to go alone. If you are just joining us, I'm Kater and I'm joined here by Quark.
Yes, hello, and now we're going to be seeing in round 2 of Swiss, the Noxious Nest versus the Industrious Igloos. Nice names,
Again,
right?
again,
Yes,
great team names. I honestly love the trend of alliterative names that Off the Dial has. It's really fun to talk about, especially on stream.
So speaking of alliteration, you could call this commentary co-captain, co-commentary, since we do co-captain.
That you could.
Because why not have more alliteration?
Yeah, for those of you in
wrong?
for those of you in the audience that don't know, Cork and I co-captain Syzygy our Div 7 team. So yeah, co-captain, co-commentary. For our first map here, we're going to be seeing Splat Zones on Piranha Pit. Fun!
Yes, I was playing this in solo earlier. I can't say I appreciate it too much. It's a bit of a chaotic mess because a lot of different ways to push in, a lot of trippy elevation, and generally it's double zones make it even crazier. It's hard. It's gonna be a lot of small scores in a lot of situations because it's hard to get a lockout here.
Yeah. I mean,
or it's both easy and hard, really, actually.
That's true, yeah. You can definitely force a lockout, but if teams play their cards right, they can very nicely break back in from that lockout. And also, the actual area that's used on this map ends up being really small, because even though at first glance Piranha Pit seems like a really big map, those two large areas off to the side bottom aren't used. They're literally called useless on the callout maps, because there's nothing down there unless you're like a special spammer, spam armor or missiles down there. You don't really go down there. So the only areas that are really used in combat are, you know, the areas around base as well as the areas pushing in. Seeing a Zinc mini come out of one of the teams here, which is pretty interesting. I mean, how long has it been since you've seen Zinc mini?
It's less than a month.
Also, are
really,
those light Tetris?
Those are light Tetris and a Neo machine as well. So they're gonna have both destruction. They're gonna have a splat bomb rush and an auto bomb rush for the team alongside the rain and the armor, which I think is definitely unorthodox. It could work though. The machine isn't bad here, given the slow slopes.
Oh, definitely not.
We've got a more orthodox coming on Noxious Nest. Another double backline comp like we did see last time as well, with the ballpoint and the dino. So both two historically weapons you can use fairly aggro as backlines, especially the ballpoint. And then that's a splash and an H3 actually. I really like that pick. It's a good weapon for armor and can hit really hard too. And then Splash's Neo has been pretty popular weapon, paints a lot, bottoms, suction bomb rush. So we're gonna see a lot of explosions today. I hope everyone's ready.
Yeah, as a former Neo Machine player, which we're seeing here right now, I really like this weapon on zones. Like you said, you have that Splat Bomb Rush, which we're seeing out here right now. The Point Sensor, also, not a very appreciated sub. It is pretty nice for pointing out opponents, especially if your callouts get a little bit chaotic. And then the machine's main weapon itself is just so nice. The indirects are very forgiving, and of course it's a slosher, so it can take advantage of small ledges in places like that. We did see them get a nice pick there, but it's going to be the Ness here taking the lead and using that Booyah Bomb to their advantage. They are 2 down, but they have the armor should they need to stay alive, and that Zap is putting out so much pressure right now. They're gonna pop the armor so that they can stay alive. Unfortunately, getting run over by
It's an H3, not a Zap.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. I saw the kit.
You saw the armor and you saw the kit. It's like, yep, that's a Zap. I mean,
yeah, I'm used to Zap. I'm used to Zap. Zap is so heavily meta, but I mean, hey, H3, great pick, honestly.
Yeah. And we see Noxious Nest is going to continue to extend their lead, starting to creep under 60 points, and looking for some of the corner. So the mini, I don't know how they popped the curling bomb. I don't know how they got away from that, but that was really impressive.
Curling bomb is
going to hinder Noxious Nest. So I think the armor came out as well. The armor is coming out. Another rain coming out, or that was the same rain actually. The next bomb pick's going to come out and take out a member of Noxious Nest. The Industrious Igloos are going to have to push up with 2 down on Noxious Nest. And the machine getting the direct as you saw that curve shot, but not managing to get the indirect direct to finish it off. And it's gonna come to the ledges. The Booyah is gonna come out. The machine is gonna find themselves in a really tight spot. They didn't quite see what was around them, and they got surrounded by 2 or 3 members of Noxious Nests. And now the Noxious Nests are going to start pushback in, and Industrious is gonna get a few more points to the board, but then I'm gonna come close to the lead of Noxious Nests.
Yeah, this is like how you were saying. It's a lot of either very short takes of zone by differing teams back and forth, or just really long takes by one team while the other team tries to get back in. And right now we're seeing this back and forth situation. Bomb rush coming out of the Igloos, presumably from that Neo machine, as they try to get back in. We are going to come right back from the nest. The Igloos do take control though, and that Kenza Dynamo is left on their own as the only team member left alive. As the Igloos, I mean, how the tables have turned, as they are very, very much in control right here. This is I was almost about to say this is a Zap. This is not a Zap. This is a Junior. But they have.
Look at the Junior's name. I believe they put a space in their name for inbred, so it says "I am Bird." Yes.
That's
jumping
so
around
good.
a lot. So they're also top ranking for their team. We didn't see them much. We haven't seen much on stream until now. But they took a lot of damage. Probably a lot of them are armor assists, but I'm sure they're getting plagued, especially all those bombs they're be chucking around. And both teams are going down. There's the other bomb rush coming out from the side of Igloos, looking to get them a few more points. They have the armor ready as well. They can push back here, but they're going to need to cap because they still need to get the lead. They only have 17 points to make up, if I'm reading that correctly. Getting a pick on the splash, that's going to help the luck, because that's going to be a lot less paint for Noxious, and Igloos going to start push up. Moving to try to trap the Noxious in that corner. So they're going to have one go down. Looks at the Junior backed off instead of helping push up, they're covering the right side. And we're going to see Electro moving here, dropping that curly bomb. They're going to hit them from behind. But they're gonna miss! The angle was just... But
they get it!
Okay.
They get the
Dynamo! The
Dynamo!
angle was a bit awkward though. I could feel that. I've played Splatling sometimes. That's just a not fun angle to try to be firing at.
Yeah.
And then zones are gonna be really contested though. It looks like... Oh no! The Nest got it for a second, and that's gonna hurt Industrious Igloos a lot, because now they have 20 penalty points to cheer through before they can do things. So they get another 2-down situation. They just need to paint, and they need to paint fast. There's only 10 seconds left on the board. Okay, they do get the cap, they've got the armor ready, there's still 2 down for nests, and it's gonna come down to a last minute overtime push right now.
And here we are. The zone is going out of control. The overtime still starting. They only have single digits, but that booyah coming out to their zone. The penalty points are gone, and the timer is ticking away. They are just fighting to stay in control of the zone, putting out as much paint. But that suction bomb! Oh, gonna take out the Tetras, and that could be crucial for them as the Nest surge forward, and with one decisive flick of the Dynamo, end the overtime push and take the first game.
Yeah. That was a really good last second overtime push. We saw the specials come out, but I think the Booyah wasn't really much of a problem because you saw where it landed. It missed the zones a bit, but in the end, it's 17 coming out from Ember. That's
and
crazy.
9 armors too.
Oh my god! How much fun charge up is there? Oh, they're running. Oh my god! But
that's just a Junior for you.
yeah. So in the end, it looks like the rain in the narrow zones. The rain just forced the side of just English to move around, enough that the Dynamo and the ball point could start asserting their dominance with the range, and despite the bomb rushes coming out. Like you said, that one suction bomb pick was crucial, and now we're going to be moving an Inkblot Art Academy tower control.
Artemis sounds like a name, like a surname that like somebody would name their cat or something like that. I don't know. It gives off that vibe, you know? Anyways, Inkblot Tower is another one of those pretty common map modes, actually. I've commentated this a lot in all of the tournaments that I've bounced around in. This one's interesting. Getting past that first checkpoint can either be a struggle or the easiest thing in the world if you get a 3 down or a wipe situation, and then once you get to that second checkpoint, it's difficult because you have that upper part where if you don't take control of that, other enemy team members can fire down on you, and you have to have control of all of that plat because the tower just spends so much of its time there. That top clam that you have to keep an eye on lest anybody jump and splash down on you or something like that. It's just a lot to keep track of.
And I'm not really sure what kind of weapons we're going to see. I don't think we'll see many changes. We may see a change to a Zap from a Junior. I know at least the person who plays Zap and Junior in our team likes to pull out Zap for tower, because, well, you take a suction by the tower and that makes it hard to be on tower.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think both these teams could work, though. The double backline might be a bit iffy depending on the situation on Inkblot, because there could be some tight spots and that's not fun.
That's true. Zap does generally have more killing power than Junior as well, just because of its higher accuracy and longer range. So if teams choose to play a little bit more of a more aggressive support, that could definitely come into play there. As Zap, sometimes you can just hold forward with it and get a lot of kills. It's a nice flexible weapon, and part of why that's so meta. But actually, we're going to be seeing a few changes, double splatling the Nut and the Hydra combination out of the Nest there, and then Igloos choosing to bring out the 96 Gal as their armor weapon.
Yeah, there's a good choice in this map. The sprinklers will help painting. And there's also a lot of nasty cores. You can stake the sprinklers. In the case check, I can nice pick on those Tetras, but just switch the dark variety. So that's gonna help them. They got a few more bombs with the is that a K shot or a T Tech? I didn't notice.
I'm pretty sure that's a T Tech. Yes, that's a T Tech.
Yeah, T Tech. The Inkjet's gonna help. They're still gonna have armor. Inkjet and Rain are gonna help a lot for clean, but I like that pick. But Noxious Nests are gonna move up. The double splatling comp is also gonna be very powerful here. They've got double armor as well, so they're gonna be able to stay on the tower for quite some time. And the Hydra getting a nice pick, jumping around. I'm impressed they're still alive. And they are still okay. They almost jumped off the edge there, but they're still alive. I think they're gonna jump out, or not. They trade at someone instead. That's 3 down for Industrious Igloos. Double splatling just chewing through the Industrious Igloos. Noxious Deaths pushing up, starting to get on that second checkpoint, getting another pick, taking out that Mini who looks like they went a little too fast. The other members of Industrious Igloos moving their position, throwing out their bombs, and they do look like they're gonna manage to clear the tower, taking out 2 members of Noxious Death, so the others are gonna manage to retreat, and Industrious Igloos did lose another of their own.
Ooh, what?
That was a bomb, yeah.
Okay, bomb double on the T-Tech, real nice.
Yeah, now Industrious Igloos is in a really nice position. They've got members down on Noxious Death. They've got Inkjet.
Oh no! They do not have Inkjet!
The splatling goes down, so we're gonna have another stalemate situation with both sides looking for something, but as of right now, I think they're just got to run around. Oh, the Mini getting a nice pick!
Really liking
this, and that's gonna be open things up for Industrious Igloos. They need to not get hit by that Hydra that's gonna be lights out.
Really liking the curling bomb plays out of this Mini here, right actually.
But
yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. I thought something else. But 2 are gonna go down. Looks like they didn't pop them early enough to keep their teammates from dying. The Inkjet does get someone else. But the Inkjet coming out from the Nautilus as well. They're gonna miss the camp! And they're not gonna get anything, I don't think. The Noxious and the Industrious Igloos are gonna position to continue their push, I think.
Yeah, looks like that's what they are aiming to do. They hop back on the tower, getting it to the original position that it was in, but because all of the members of Nest are just up and ready right now, it looks they just aren't able to get any more footing, with members going down on both sides right now. 3 down though on the side of Igloos, and so that's going to halt their push there. I almost thought that the Tetras were light Tetras, and I was going to get worried that they were running double sprinkler, but then thankfully they are not running double sprinkler, because why would you run double sprinkler? Especially on...
Been there, done that.
Okay, you know what? That's fair, but people don't need to know that.
It's all for the Stingray. Don't ask.
Yes, but again, 3 down on the side of Igloos, and so it's just Nest hopping yet again right back on that tower, looking to further their lead. They are almost through that second checkpoint. If they get past that, it can snowball very quickly for them. Some trades going down, members down on both sides right now, although Nest does go 3 down, and so that Knot is going to have to retreat. They are in mid here, they have that Inkjet, but they are wisely going to hold it until they have support from their teammates. Meanwhile, Igloos taking this opportunity to paint up mid, to step forward a little bit, take control of turf that they had not been able to use before this point. And they have specials behind them. A very nice Inkjet direct coming out of his D-Tech.
The armor to cover the Inkjet. Another one coming out, getting another
double.
Maybe I was gonna stall them, but that's 2 down delayed wipe, I think, because we're still seeing members respawn. This is the perfect chance for the Industrious Igloos to get the lead. It looks like they're gonna get the lead. They're gonna break the second checkpoint as well, which is even more crucial here. Next time, if they need to keep pushing, they won't need to break through it. The armor is ready for the side of Noxious Nest, but the Igloos just keep going. The Tetras are going for a flick. Okay, the HC just hit them, but the rain's out, and they don't have much else to stall them. Okay, and the Industrious Igloos do stay on the tower and manage a successful retreat. I think they're still getting picks. The 96 Gal is still there. And the Noxious Nest are 2 down,
Ooh,
3 down. Another Inkjet's ready. The 96 is doing so much work here. Take a look at their KA. They've got 17 and I think 16, something like that. No, 18. And 16 from the T-Tech, putting in so much work. Oh, that's a 10. I can't read. 10 from the Gal and 16 from the T-Tech, putting a lot of work. It looks like they're gonna get taken at last second. T-Tech's gonna hopefully jump out. I hope they jumped out. I think they did jump out.
I hope they're
And now they've
alive.
got what they need to set up one last defense, but they certainly can. Just charge up their specials. I think they're pretty close. And
Yep.
there's already one going down for Noxiousness. It's going to be incredibly hard for them to take this game back.
Nest have 3 specials on their side right now. The armor and the missiles already getting popped. That tower's not even back in mid yet, and they are already struggling. They are so close, but they are not even on the tower. Now they are. They've got overtime, but their member on the tower dies, and with somebody on Igloos just stepping right back on, that's going to be the game for them. That was a huge push. Props to Igloos for just barreling through that and pulling that off when it looked like they were struggling.
Once they finally managed to get their feet under them, started getting the special coordination, didn't lose anyone. A lot of damage. Looks like overall Noxiousness did get more KA. Just Igloos got the kills. The one at the end when they really needed them, despite being on the back foot a bit for the majority of the match.
We're going to Triggerfish Rainmaker? Are we really going to Triggerfish Rainmaker?
Insert that Bernie Sanders meme about asking for playable tourney maps, but
I am no longer asking.
Yes,
Well
I
then.
just think this is. I mean, it's not. I don't.
It's not bad. It's just uncommon, and I'm surprised.
I think a lot of people don't like it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I also like it. I don't like it as much as I like some other maps, but
You like Moray Towers.
Moray Rainmaker is the best, and you can't change my mind.
You play Daffles. That's why you like.
And you play CJ. But honestly, it's a pretty good map. It's actually it favors range, but there's enough close situations, especially in Rainmaker, where it ends up being very balanced for a lot of weapons, a lot of different comps you can run here. In the end, because there's a lot of long space you can use long range weapons to control. Those same long spaces, if you get a little bit of purchase in them, short range weapons can dominate so dare they are.
I just want to see people fall off the map.
There's gonna be this one. All in all, I think this map is a lot more balanced, and there's only 2 paths, or well, 2 with a couple different options, and there's a bit of room for variation as well. But this map, there's a lot of grades. It's gonna be hard. If these teams have Brellas, now is the time to pull out their Brellas.
I mean, yeah, I seeing people take a dive in this map is pretty entertaining, but it just depends on the moment. Sometimes you fall off the map, it's completely inconsequential. Sometimes you do, and that costs you the game.
It's not Triggerfish Tower.
Okay, I can hope though. It's still Triggerfish.
But Triggerfish Tower is a special kind of hell for falling off the map.
That's true.
And did you see the CJ coming out? The Ray is CJ on both sides. Also CJ, but yes.
Yes,
CJ on both sides is important stopping push. That's the V-Sploosh, so it looks like they're
fun.
A different curling bomb weapon. They were in the mini earlier, so I guess they really like curling bombs, and it looks like their motto for this is going to be move fast and break things.
I mean, that's fair.
We see a more conservative and a bit more meta comp coming out from the Industrious the Noxious Nest with the H3 and then the Gal and then the C-Jet and the Spotlight. They're going to have a lot of area control, and the walls are going to help in the narrow areas. And doesn't look like everyone's pick. Everyone's being a little bit cautious, looking for picks. If you try to grab here, just don't. I've seen people try it.
Please don't. Yeah.
You will die if you're under fire. Though, depending on, and it looks like a bomb pick comes out the opening, and they're gonna grab it, but there's an auto bomb. They didn't have enough paint under their feet. And the Ray's gonna come out. The Ray's gonna get a pick. And okay, now it looks like they're gonna be opening up. They're gonna choose the left pass, which is not gonna be as guarded at the moment.
Ooh, 3 down for Igloos.
On this thing. Yes, and the left path's a lot more safe. It's not gonna get points nearly as fast, but it's gonna keep them alive. And gives them a bit of cover of that wall you saw there. The Ray is gonna put the stop to the push, only getting 85.
Yeah, they had that huge opening, and then Amber here just with the C-Jet. Yes, I love C-Jets! Unfortunately, Igloos are going to go 3 down, and so the Nest are continuing that push. Amber now in an unfortunate position because they had jumped down, but then the push continued, and they were not able to defend there. So the Nest getting all the way to 40, I don't know what that number says, 40-something. Is that a 5?
Yeah. 5 or 6, anyway. Yes, but... Wait, hold up. 45, yeah, I looked at it's 45. And now Nest is still in a position to get a special. Mabuti through the special. We see the Sploosh looks like they got a pick. The Earth touches. They go down to the Nautilus, who was just waiting for that pick. And the Nautilus almost, well, they get slapped by a curling ball. Looks like they didn't bounce in the right way to kill them, which would have been Even
Pretty
more
funny.
entertaining than someone dying by falling in the water, honestly.
Oh yeah, I
Nox
would.
didn't
Yeah.
get another pick. Looks pick the Industrious Igloos are feeding into them a bit, which is a bit awkward, but looks like they just really want that Nautilus gone. And we see the Industrious Igloos, their Satya is distracting, pulling out a Ray, and then we got a Ray battle on our hands, folks, and they get a trade. They take out the opposing CJ, but it's gonna help if they try to push. The Nautilus has been running around doing so much damage, and both teams are 2 down, but the Nautilus is... There's the Inkjet. That's gonna shut the push down. This is why I play T-Tech so much at Rainmaker. Inkjet is a really good thing for shutting down Rainmaker pushes. In some situations, even more so than Stingray. Because unlike the Stingray, you can dodge as long as you get a well-placed Ink Shot or two. Inkjet Shot, especially if you're armored, that's even more powerful than a Ray can be in some situations.
Oh man, I thought
faster.
the Nautilus. Well, here comes the Ray, anyways, and ooh, that's 3 down on the side of Nest right there. The Sploosh dropping and getting a smooth double. Hopefully, Igloos can move quickly enough to take advantage of this opening that they've been granted. Looks like they're going to opt for the straight down the middle path, but they've got a lot of resistance coming their way. We've got to keep in mind of the knockback from the Rainmaker as well. They're 2 down now with the Zap, the only other one alive, and with that C-Jet putting a lot of long-range pressure on them, the Rainmaker's just forced to back up even farther into mid. They've got teammates jumping to them, but they are losing time, and the members of Nest are able to gather themselves now, and with that, another well-placed Inkjet shot, just like you were talking about. That push just unfortunately gets shut down again.
Yeah, they were in a decent position, but it looks like there's a bit of initial miscommunication which way to go. We saw some going left. They didn't really have the specials to push up because they don't have... Besides that Ray, they have no long-range specials. They're running double splashdown, which is gonna hurt them. More than anything else, I think that's what's gonna hurt.
Ooh, that's a full wipe on the side of Igloos, and with the Rainmaker's position right now, they can just KO this right now. I mean, they're there, they're at the podium.
They dodged
They're
those
just
shots
inking
and
it. They are dodging all the shots. The CJ gets taken out, and that the game for Noxiousness.
Yeah. I think it did hurt Industrious. So yeah, double splashdown, a Rainmaker, and a long map. They had no other range specials to really work with, which... Yeah, it's gonna hurt. They had a lot of good bomb pressure, can move very fast, but in the end, we see 20 KA coming out from that Nautilus doing so much damage, and good showing from both teams. The very balanced fight, really nice one to commentate, but in the end, the Noxiousness managed to come out ahead. With a bit more range on Triggerfish, I think, was really the deciding factor.
Yeah, like you said, although short-range weapons can do pretty well on Triggerfish, in the end, having range to reach over that gap is really, really helpful. And even then, just having bombs to go over that, having range specials is nice. And so just double splashdown, which it's really selfish special, can't really affect more than your fights. And running 2 of those is just, it probably did hurt them a lot.
Yes, and I believe we will be also going on break, as we will after every set, because we are both tired and don't want to dehydrate. Ready for round 3 of Switch. Stay tuned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's Dangerous to Go Alone, May 2021. If you are just joining us, I am Kater, and I'm joined here today by Quark.
Yes, and we are going to be starting off with the Proud Pockets versus the Deafening Deadlines. Yeah, deadlines really do be like that.
Unfortunately.
This is why I wear cargo pants.
Yeah,
Yes, the
the lack of pockets on women's clothing is a scam. I hate it. But anyways,
blame some annoying fashion designer.
We're in Pool 2. Previously, we were streaming matches from Pool 1, but we have moved down into Pool 2. So, yes, we're going to be seeing a couple of different teams, different people here today. A couple of people that I do know. Kirby I've played with before.
Lumina we commentated yesterday and had to
that is true. Yes, that is true.
Yeah, they captained, took the team placed 3rd overall.
Nice. Yes. Okay. So, we are going to be heading into Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. What?
So, sorry. The Proud Pockets, the team that NIS Illumina played for, was called Pandilla Pescado, so we have the same Illuminate.
Oh my goodness, you're right! it was simply meant to be. But yes, we are going to Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal, which I swear to God, it's not a bad map mode, but I feel like it follows me around to every tournament I commentate in, and I've run out of unique things to say
and
about.
Play in. You complain about this whenever we play a tournament, too.
Yes, it's always there. I don't know why it's so common. What is so good about Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal that you have to have in every single tournament that's out there?
It's really annoying, that's what it is. And, I mean, there's a lot of ways to push. It's certainly an interesting map to play. Though, it still sucks every time I get shot down trying to cross the ground.
That's fair, that's fair.
It's gonna be a very interesting map. I can't say for sure what instance to bring out. Rushes are a good choice here, because you can get a lot of sneaky flanks, especially up on, sneaky, in the unankle ball, up in the corner. Lock constant bubbles, tight shields. Will help a lot too, trying to get through the very easily defended areas as well, because there's little ledges over them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like you said, that rail is a nice place to push if nobody else is around the basket. However, like you said, it can also easily be shot down on and defended from. So if you are not completely sure that that area is free, best to not take it. There's also that jump that you can make close to the rail, but also, if you miss the jump, if you fall into the water, that clam is dying with you. So take your chances, I suppose. But like you said, there's a bunch of different ways to push on this map, and bubbles and tent shields are very, very helpful as shields to tank damage, especially if you decide to take the way that's straight down the middle. It's pretty open and clear. Not open, I suppose, but it is clear. It's a straight line of sight, and it is an uphill battle, so having something that you can hide behind to take that damage is really useful.
Those ledges over, defensively those ledges can be really, really important, especially if you have like a bucket or a brush. You can just rain down fire from them. Though that also makes it tricky if there's an enemy roller sharking on your ledges and then you get squished.
Yeah, I mean, all the ledges here, the small slopes, weapons like you said, brush, rollers, tries can take advantage of those. So I'd like to see those and see some close range 1v1s on this map. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Special-wise, like you said, we mentioned bubbles, I believe. Missiles are good here. Most specials it's fairly balanced for specials. Inkjet can be a bit dicey, though, especially because since you're always going to be pushing in from lower ground for the most part, popping an Inkjet offensively is a bit tricky when you're trying to push because if you're at lower ground, you can't fly as high. But defensively, it's very effective. Yeah. Ballers can be good here, especially. We don't see the strategy of using a baller to get jumps in as much anymore, but back in the day, that was the thing you did, and I definitely think that could be a viable strategy as well.
Definitely, yeah. And like you pointed out, the areas around the top of those clam baskets are just elevated very, very high above the area that the offending team is taking control of and pushing in from. So weapons like Inkjet that really, really thrive off of those height differences can struggle a bit there. And just having that height advantage is pretty nice for the defending team because they can chuck bombs down, they can shoot down blindly, especially if they have, like you said, rollers, other weapons that put out a lot of turf out, and it can make it really, really hard for the opposing team to get anything done.
Yeah, and I think we might be waiting because someone's saying that a lot of teams playing is saying they're short on people and apparently on stream. Well, they're on stream, yes. That's going to be a bit awkward, but guess we'll just have to wait and talk about Snapper Canal and who wants to go swimming. And Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you do see people fall off this map. Not as common as triggerfish, but it still happens. Especially on tower control, because, you know, tower going over the water.
Yeah, that's not fun. I mean, well, there's a very big bridge in this map, but I don't. Wish you could stick stuff to the bridge up top.
Can you not?
Hilarious. Isn't it really high up though? Like the bridge.
I don't know, I
over the whole
haven't
map?
tried. I haven't tried.
I think it is. I haven't actually bothered to look up much on this map, unfortunately.
I mean, I know there's like, I don't know if they've been patched, but previously there were glitches where you could super jump using leg and get up onto those bridges.
Yeah.
Not sure if
You
those
could?
exploits are
I
still
did not.
there.
That was
Yeah.
a thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of map exploit videos out there. Some of them, a good portion of them, I think, have been patched by Nintendo, but they were found by a lot of people that were. So some people were just dedicated to finding these glitches, these exploits in maps. You could get onto like some of the places out of bounds in Wahoo World, I believe. Albacore, you could get
Speaking
onto
of
some roofs as
Wahoo,
well.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Apparently, so you know the place if you're up on left where the bridge would deploy.
The
If
timer.
you look to your left, there's actually a sushi restaurant. If you
Yeah,
jump
there.
up and look up.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet. I took a drip pic there once actually.
Yes. Yes, I do point that out. Another thing is, you used to be. I don't know if you can still do it, but there's a way you could get inside Krusty Sean's van, which was quite
Oh
fun.
yeah, I've seen that done.
Yeah. Yes, so we're going from instead of Splatoon commentators and players and organizers, we're just gonna sell food to people. mean- If someone doesn't pull up to a LAN that allows food trucks with a food truck that's Krusty Sean truck themed, when LANs are a thing again.
That sounds like a cool theme for a food truck.
I mean, it's probably been done.
Probably,
you see
yeah.
all the
Good
other
luck hard
things,
enough.
especially in Japan, all the cool theme stuff. I'm sure it's a thing.
Yeah, there's still a lot of cool cosplay, and there's just stuff out
Does
there.
it count as cosplay? Can vehicles cosplay?
Yeah. You know, this is not what I expected to hear today. But we're posing the difficult questions now, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much to talk about the match anymore because we talk about the map and stuff. So we're just gonna talk about whether vehicles can cosplay.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you count paint as a costume for a vehicle, maybe. I mean, or you could just put like very large cat ears on.
Well, that's the thing. People put like reindeer antlers on their cars for
Like the
Christmas.
specials with giant bows.
Yeah, so why not cat ears?
It's also probably been done. Yeah. So, speaking of, I mean, Splatoon plays quite a lot of cool math exploits, but I mean, then there's also the Breath of the Wild people who can jump across, like halfway across the map with one like shield surfing thing, which is always fun. Though we're gonna play Splatoon, not Breath of the Wild. Unless Splatoon becomes part of Breath of the Wild at some point, which maybe in Breath of the Wild too, to say so.
You can hope. You can hope. While we're here, I suppose we can look forward on the maps coming up in this set a little bit. We have good old splat zones on Gobi Arena to look forward to next.
You should have heard me complaining about this when I was playing Last Link, because it appeared on the map list twice, and I was just like, what? It's such a weird... I mean, of all the Gobi maps, it's fine, because Gobi Tower is... awkward. Gobi Tower is just weird. Gobi Clems is impossible to push on, and Gobi Rainmaker is scary, but Gobi Zones is okay. I'll just pull out a Tri-Slosher and hope I hit stuff here. What do you think about this map?
You just hope. I mean, yeah, you do have those ledges that you can slosh over and make it hell for any anchor that's trying to set up camp there. There's also, I doubt this is still used anymore, but there's the funny little strat where you can have like two people on your team baller into the zone and explode at the same time will insta-cat the zone for you.
Like using bubbles and baller? Is that what you said? Sorry.
No, just double baller.
Oh yeah, I think I've tried that once with some team or other. I can't remember. We ran quad baller, I think, with one of my old teams in a tournament. Or in league. That didn't go so well, but it was funny. They had to shred all our ballers though, which was painful.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, well, Sorella Undercover Bella for the win.
I used to play Slosher Deco. Don't play anything with baller anymore, though.
The hamster wheel of explosive death.
It's just a hamster ball, but it explodes at the end.
Hamster ball, but that sounds about right. I
Yeah,
don't know what's
considering the rest
going
is
on
Splatoon.
anymore because we might not be streaming this match. I'm seeing chatter about that. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. We.
Yeah. Such as I mean, a lot of people have been dropping for the tournament. And it's a free agent tournament with 4-person teams. Well, that's painful.
All right,
Okay.
we
Looks like
are.
we're going to be taking a brief break.
Yes.
We'll be back once
Apologies.
we have a match for you.
Apologies for the day, and
Please
yes,
stay tuned.
please stay tuned, everyone. We'll see you in a few minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to May 2021's It's Dangerous to Go Alone. If you are just joining us now, I'm Kate, and I'm joined here by Quark.
Yes, and we're going to be moving into round 4. We didn't really get to stream round 3 because, like, the third of the tournament dropped because, yay! I'm being exaggerative, but a whole bunch of people dropped. Yes, and we're going to be seeing the kind Kitsch versus the Burly Burlesques. Or the Burly Burlesques, and then we're going to be starting off on... What are we starting off on?
We are starting off on Rainmaker on Muscle Forge Fitness, which is, an interesting map mode. I mean, you got two ways to push, and both of them are literal uphill battles and very hard to push on. So, that's all that you need.
Wait, can you see the stream, Lipta? Or Kater?
Nope. That's okay, though.
It's fine, we're just talking about maps. Okay, just making sure my computer isn't dying, Sometimes it's very hot, so I'm hoping it's not exploding or anything.
That's understandable, but yeah.
Oh, speaking of really hot, before we get to maps, apparently during Tassel this afternoon, one of the competitors' Switch started overheating.
Nice. Anyways,
yes, always fun.
Muscle Forge Fitness on Rainmaker, you have that long right path that is commonly used, and then you also have the much riskier path on left that takes the ink rail. Both are easily defended and pretty hard to push on unless you get a wipe or 3-down situation, in which case it can be like a breeze.
It's either really fast or a painful, literal uphill battle.
Yep.
And who doesn't like a good uphill battle to finish rounds?
Man.
I mean, there's just not as many hills as like Humpback or Blackbelly. The entire Rainmaker pushes uphill.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what we can expect from these teams, or?
Not really. I do want to see something like sloshers or rollers, just because Muscle Forge is so vertical. You can really get stuff out of that. You really get a lot out of the fall off abilities of those weapons, especially with the huge slopes in mid.
Yeah, Slushers. Blob Blobber even could be pulled out here. I'd like to see that because so much area control. And the paths are narrow enough that the Blob Blobber can shut down any river push, especially if you've got a
Oh,
wall for the
definitely.
no Blob Blobber. Blah 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 blubber.
All right,
Just keep
cool.
blah blubber 10 times faster.
I will not.
Blah 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 blah.
See, new tongue twister, I suppose.
Yes, yes. The word blah blubber is all you need. No conflict.
It's
No
pretty.
complicated.
I mean, it does quite literally lob blobs, so as hard as it is to say, it's a pretty descriptive weapon name, in my opinion.
The bathtub of painful death, as I like to call it.
Up to.
Does doing things feel pain though? That's the real question here. It's gotta hurt getting hit by those bubbles, right?
I mean, a lot of weapons in the Splatoon universe are kind of strange. Like, you have people constantly running around with, like, large like, golden dynamos and, like...
Golden paint rollers, yeah.
And, like, constantly swinging the brush back and forth has gotta make the arms hurt. Like, Inklings really have to be strong in order to participate in these.
Dynamos, you got every Splatling, especially Hydra. You gotta be these Inklings. They've got to have a huge strength to body mass ratio. It's
Or their weapons could just be, like, super light somehow.
the fact that they do slow them down implies they probably aren't that light, given how there's the weight class modifiers in the game.
All right, here we go, bringing us back to Rainmaker on Muscle Forge Fitness.
Double
We're gonna
Splatling.
get double. Ooh, yeah, double spelling, and then that machine coming out of the believe Kitsch that's in the pink. So I'm gonna hopefully see some slosher action as well.
Yeah, and the Carbon's a really nice pick from the Burly Burlesque. I think that's gonna help. A lot of corners here. A lot of the same kind of slopes that can be abused by sloshers are gonna work well for rollers too. We see the mini trying to get popped, but they're not gonna get it. Okay, they just barely dodged the explosion. It's good they didn't blow. And one of Kind Kitsch is already going down. So one of Burly Burlesque goes down. And it's a 3-6 situation. Both teams are looking for mid. Just trying to get a purchase, but they need more picks before they even try to start push. So machine is respawning and missiles are coming out for Kind Kitsch. Burly Burlesque is being pushed back. They've got the missiles of their own. But at the moment, it looks like they're the ones who are in a bit of a bad position right now. They're getting forced back, forced down the slope, which is going to put them on a height disadvantage, and it's a 3-6 situation on the field yet again. So, Kind Kitsch is going to grab the Rainmaker, they're going to run for it, and Burly Burlesque is behind them, they're going to make it all the way to the pedestal, and they're going to get the KO!
Somebody went around and painted the path, and Kind Kitsch just took that and swam with it, and that is, well, that is a Rainmaker moment right then and there.
Yeah, it looks like this can happen on this map and also Humpback. Is if your entire team's deployed out right and you have no one watching the left path, and the enemy team just keeps you pinned for 10 seconds, that's the game. And now we're going to be moving on to Clem Blitz on the Reef, which is an entirely different kind of situation.
Oh, definitely. I mean, where Rainmaker is, directly person controlled and very fast, and it has, you've got one path to make it down. Reef is a pretty convoluted map, honestly. You've got many ways to go from anywhere on the map, and you've got to collect clams and whatnot. There's just a lot to keep track of on this map.
Yeah, it's a very balanced map. A lot of weapons can go well for them. Long range weapons. You can bring your Elier to scope to this your custom Elier scope if you so wish to this map, which honestly this map isn't a bad pick because the bubbles help to push in.
That's true.
I don't think we'll see one, but this is one of the times where you can see custom Elier is good. You can't say that much, but yeah.
And like you said, bubbles are really nice for pushing on this map. You usually see them used for area control underneath the clam basket, and there's also that sneakier way down that alley on the right of the defending team that you can take to go up there behind the basket, get some points, and maybe get a super jump there. You can see the no change in Burly Burlesque comp, but Kitsch are deciding to bring out a Kenza Rapid Blaster, which is an interesting pick. It's got that baller though, so that should be helpful. And hopefully we can continue to see that double. We can see that double splatling do a little bit more in action in this game.
Yeah, and we see one member going both on to, and Samuel's getting shoved in the corner, but thankfully the armor saves their life. They're actually knocking them far enough away from the carbon to keep them from dying. I don't know how they got. I don't know why the carbon didn't fall up there, but I mean, Kind Kitsch does have a person advantage now. They've got the clams. They're ready to move, and they've got a special. They probably should wait. It looks like they've got a baller. Looks like they're gonna wait for a baller jump in, or not. I thought Semino was waiting for a jump, but instead the baller seems to have been popped as a survival measure, and the K-Pro is gonna go down for side of Kind Kitsch, giving Burlesque the advantage. The missiles coming out, and Kind Kitsch is gonna force the H getting a nice pick.
Yeah, although Kitsch had an opportunity for a second there, they just weren't able to step forward fast enough. They didn't have quite the opening that they wanted, but they have it now as Semino's going for the basket. They're going to get taken out by two members of Burlesque. Very nice defense out of them. The Mini here watching over the ball, guarding it, getting another pick as well. 2 down on side of Kitsch right now. Burlesque doesn't have many clams. I think the Mini is the only member of their team that actually has clams. Okay, now they've been gathering it, so hopefully they will be able, once they clean up the members of Kitsch, to grab a few more. However, Kitsch isn't going to let that happen with the Mini going down. Not before they take out the Kenza Rapid with them, though, and right now it is just a fight for bridge as 3 down on the side of Kitsch, and that's Burlesque going...
coming up for Burlesque, getting a score. But all the Kitsch was distracted on bridge. They made the same mistake Burlesque made last game. They let them, so they didn't watch out their flank. And then members of Kind Kitsch are swarming and keeping Burly Burlesque from getting more than 77 points on the board. Really, it's gonna be much. It's a score, which is good. But Kind Kitsch, they got the puck. They've got 10 clams. They've got the pity clam. They can come back fairly easily for this.
Yeah, Smith here on the Kenza Rapid, excited to see what they can do in the remainder of this match, as they are a blaster main.
Yeah, that looks like they're gonna go for some picks. Apologies, our commentary link is on our end. The stream froze, so we're gonna have to watch the stream and commentate it. So it's gonna be pretty delayed. But is it frozen on your end too, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna watch the stream. We got this. Rapid's getting some nice picks. Shot on an inkjet right there. Popping the baller. Looks like I wonder if they're not gonna try to get a jump at the missiles. And a really nice torpedo. Didn't get the kill. Looks like they missed the shot. The jump's coming in, and it's gonna get camped. That's gonna hurt. Looks like we're back. Yeah, it's coming back. Okay, we can see again. Yay! Anyway, we see the Carbon sharking. They've got specials ready. And there's 3 specials on line for Burly Burlesque. They're 1 down, so they can't move yet, but they're in a good position to push as they get up. They do a power club. I'm not sure why they're throwing it away. I think that was... If they can't get it back, that's because they're trailing. Do manage to grab it, so they probably should pass it to someone other than the Carbon, just because Carbons need to shark and they can't do the power club. But Burly Burlesque is in a situation where they can start pushing again now. And we're gonna keep going. Who's this? This is the Zap is starting to look for some picks, and I think I'll just make a commentator across that. Oh, lovely. Then we see the Mini getting a pick here, looking for another. They're not quite gonna get anything. They're gonna be painting for. I'm not sure the painting position. They're trying to paint up a little bit, getting picked off, and we see the Kenza shot getting a pick. Coming that jump, looking for yet another. They're gonna have to be forced to run from the Nautilus. Nautilus isn't gonna quite gonna get them, and didn't take them. Looks like the K-shot's last on the side of Kind Kitsch, and Burly Burlesque is in. The stream dropped out, and oh no.
Yeah, we see the K-shot here. They have the missiles at the ready, looking for picks. Kitsch still hasn't gotten a single point on the board, and we have just under a minute left. Semino there getting nice picks, looking for a second, though. They've got some clams to their name as well. 2 down on the side of Burlesque, as Kitsch are scrambling right now for clams. They don't have a power yet, but they have specials. The Booyah is going to come out from Swampert here on the K-Pro, going to get a pick as well. They have a power clam, but they are taken out before they can throw that in. All Kitsch needs is a power and 2 smaller clams, but it looks like that power, they're going to lose it as they go 3 down, which is not where they want to be in the last 23 seconds of this match. The Carbon here still sharking on bridge, guarding, putting up a fight against this Rapid that is looking for a pick on them and just not going to find it. Simply, we have 10 seconds left. The Carbon's going to get another pick. They have that Autobomb rush at the ready, gonna get taken down finally by the Rapid that was looking for a pick on them. And the Rapid just looking for something, anything, any amount of clams that they can get.
Oh no, it's not quite fast enough.
Not fast enough, unfortunately. And so that is going to be a game for Burlesque.
That's going to be 1-1. We're going to be good. Well, we're going through anyway, but it's going to actually be decisive game 3 on... What's it on? Oh no, my Discord's not loading. Manta Maria Zones. Oh, so double zones map yet again. Lovely.
Double zone. I keep seeing this. We saw it in Piranha. I mean, it just makes this map even more chaotic than it was before. Like, I talked about Manta a little bit earlier. You have the grates that people can use, and just because the zones are fixed in mid is going to play a huge part. Instead of like in tower where we saw that combat moves with the tower, zones are static. So you're always going to want to have control of those areas in mid, control of the bunkers, so that people can't jump down on you. And so it's really just a matter of controlling certain areas and making sure that the opposing team can't set up in them.
Yes, looks like the other thing, I think, again, we can see a lot of different weapons. I don't expect too many changes here. I think both teams are going to stick with what they're comfortable on. I completely spaced on what weapon. Oh, the Carbon might be good to switch off just because this is too much paint. There's still a lot of really nice flanks you can get here. If you go all the way behind, I've used some of those flanks. That Carbon from jumping from your bunker onto you is extremely hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do hope to see that Carbon come back. We're not sure if it will, but it could be a joy to see.
Yes, and...
Ooh, leader! Leader! And all rollers? Are we seeing memeing on stream?
Sorry, I can't see any. Are you watching?
Okay, well that's all right. Nope, the Kitsch are pulling out an all roller comp, which is
what? Okay, I'm just seeing that. What's?
Yeah, that's something.
I'm
and then
the actual stream. So
okay, it's okay. I've got the stream. If your commentary is delayed, that's okay. But yes, the leader is coming out on the side of Burlesque, which I guess we were talking about. I didn't expect to see it here, but I guess here we are. And then all rollers coming out on the side of Kitsch, which is quite the interesting comp, and it could very well work out here as it seems to be doing. They did get first there, 2 down on Burlesque as well, and they're gonna continue to hold on to the zones. They have a special on their end as well. I mean, the combination of the Dynamo, the Flingza, as well as I think that's a Carbon. I'm not completely sure. I can't tell. It is gonna be really, really nice.
Yeah, but I'm seeing. Yeah, the rollers. That's a really because you're gonna get so much paint out of the.
It's a well-rounded comp,
rollers,
yeah.
And then the smaller rollers are gonna kill things. So honestly, it might be a bit of a meme, but I think it was the right call here.
Oh yeah.
E-leader, I mean, the E-leader's gonna get some shots. Gets a nice shot right there, but they get ledge cap because the ledges everywhere, and it's gonna be so hard for Burly Best to move because they have plenty of paint. But the bigger rollers have so much area control that they're always gonna walk the smallest tiny paint. They're gonna always even if they're not actively being attacked, there's like a mental pressure on them, which is really gonna hurt them. Because they're gonna be checking they're gonna have to slow down and check every single corner because they know people are gonna want to shark there.
And that is what is going on right now. We saw, all push all the way down to 38 for Kitsch, and they are still holding their own, having control of their zone. They are 1 down, but they still maintain a presence. Even then, like you said, it was a really nice pick for this map mode. They finally do lose control of the zones. They are going 1 down. This V roller here caught in an unfortunate position, so they do go down as well. But still, their members are alive, charging specials. Multiple members actually going to go down, though. This 96 making great use of their range as well as fast killing power. You see them shooting over the ledges there. They have that armor at the ready to receive the members of Kitsch once they come out. The Kitsch is firing off missiles. The armor gets popped from the 96. Rollers dropping as well. They're all going in together, and this is a very nicely placed splashdown.
Roller.
Oh, the armor saving that person, but 2 still going down. Control.
Looks like.
I believe. Oh, just 1 point before taking the lead. Kitsch gets back control, and Burlesque goes 3 down, which is unfortunate for them.
So we see one of the members of Kitsch getting picked off. Nice Scowl doing its thing, hitting hard, and the RNG wasn't there. That forced the run. They did a good job getting up, backing up, popping out armor so they don't get immediate taken with the roller. The armor is really what's going to help them here because it's going to let them take a hit from the roller and stay alive, which if they take 1 hit from the roller, that's enough time.
Mino on the ledges.
Mino takes the ledges. The armor had run out by then, so the protection for the armor wasn't there anymore. They've got the bomb rush ready. They should be the recap. They probably can steadily, but they get sniped, and that's going to hurt. We see the E-leaders putting a lot of work in. I think that's either 5 or 7 K. Is that? a good number of K anyway. Yes, 6 or 5K, which is quite good for a leader in a kind of tight map like this. Both teams put a lot of work, and we see Burlesque has got the zones. They've got a chance to get lead here. They might not get it, but they probably could. And the splashdown's ineffectual. It's gonna leave that roller stranded. Gets taken up by the Zap. Zap's painting for probably more missiles. They're gonna want the missiles. They're just painting. They run into the Karma. The Karma goes down as well. There's only 2 rollers left, and it's a 2v4 situation. Burly Bust almost certainly is gonna get lead here, getting the missiles out as well, and
Yep, there is
should be able
lead
to
for
get
them.
lead, yes.
Yeah, the meme unfortunately might be working against Kitsch here a little bit as they are now locked out. Finally, Burlesque has gotten their feet under them, but actually, you know what, as I say that, they get control of the zone with that Booyah, the missiles coming out, and a pick on the leader of Burlesque as well. So it is still anyone's game here, especially with how fast pushes on splat zones can go. That's Roller again has their splashdown. It feels like they've just constantly been having their splashdown this entire game. Meanwhile, the Carbon very
nice
smoothly camping this jump, getting a double.
Getting right at the edge of their range. You saw that flick, right?
Yeah, a super nice 180 flick out of them too. Yeah, this Carbon
backcapping.
Yeah, backcapping, and that Carbon
really
stranded. They are
keeping them alive, but they need to paint zone. They can't be over here. They got the members pinned down, so that lets the other members pin the zone. The Carbon pins them all down. And it's gonna be really close. The man advantage is on the side of Burlesque. They've got one neutralized. It's a 2v2 situation. It's gonna be really close here. It's a 1v2, and they hold the control for just long enough. And I think I don't know. Wait, who won that?
I believe that was Burlesque that won that match.
Barely. That was way too close. I'm sure both teams have got to be sweating right now.
I mean, yeah, an impressive meme, an impressive plays from them. Not even sure if that was a meme or not, because it's a very nicely chosen assortment of rollers.
I'm sure it was calculated. I think, yeah, if it was like they ran 4 vanilla flingses, I'd be at the meme. But that definitely seemed calculated, and that's going to be it for polls, actually. And we're going to be starting the top cut of this tournament in, well, some amount of time. Please stay tuned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to It's Dangerous to Go Alone May 2021. We are now in the top cut portion of the tournament. If you are just joining us, I am Kater, and I'm joined here today by Cork.
Yes, we're going to be seeing the, I forgot the adjective, the something quotations, the quiet quotations, as opposed to the screamingly, deafeningly loud quotations.
Well, we had the deafening
operators.
deadlines, right? So.
Oh, yes. The organic operators, they're all 100% organic, no pesticides or GMOs.
GMO free.
Yes. Or are they?
Well, yeah. We will never know. We are starting off here.
Have they been Have they been vetted? Are they USD certified organic or whatever?
I don't know. We are going to be starting off here on Tower Control Anchovy Games, which I like this one. It's cool. You got the modifiable mid with the what's it called? The propellers. That's what it is. The propellers that you can die to if you're weak enough.
The death weapon.
And then you have just plat, really long plat. Tower spends a good portion of its time there, including an entire checkpoint, so you have to make sure that you have control of that when you decide to push up.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no. The internet connection was lost. Wow, so the gods have cursed us even more.
We have been cursed by the internet gods. This is fun.
Dude, they already have it out for me. Like,
is this like a recurring theme?
I mean, the internet, all the tech gods have cursed me. I mean, before quarantine, when I was doing robotics, everything would break inevitably, like during competition. And then during quarantine, there was nothing robotics related to break, like our fridge, all the appliances in my house ended up breaking. So I'm just cursed with horrible technical luck. That's what it is. But the gods have decided to curse me, and now that I'm playing Splatoon,
mildly impressive.
I just have that kind of luck.
Well, yeah, rooms being remade, so hopefully we should be able to continue in just a few moments. And actually, while we were waiting, we can talk about the members on both of these teams. I believe on the quiet quotations is QB, who I did win It's Dangerous to Go Alone quite a while ago with, actually, I believe like 6 months ago. Yeah, it was a fun time.
January you won, I forgot.
I'm pretty sure it was December. But yeah, so
Many
it's really nice to it's really nice to see that QB's still playing. I had a lot of fun playing with him. They're a really cool Splatling player.
Machine gun. Yes, so if you do not attempt a Hydra, imagine you have a Hydra-sized thing, but it's an actual, like...
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
You'd probably go flying backward, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there's some weapons that, like, in real life, that if you put them like a car or something and started firing them, the car would go in the...
I mean, yeah, we were talking about...
You said you could break the speed limit with...
Yeah, we were talking about Splatoon weapons earlier in the stream, and, like having a real-life size Hydra in proportion to you would be huge. And like, isn't it almost as tall as the Inkling
themselves?
It's also
metal, too, so, like, the leader and the Hydra have to be so heavy. And even compared to a heavy Splatling, the Hydra's gonna be so much more heavy because it appears to be constructed out of metal, whereas the...
So like, heavy isn't actually all that heavy.
Well, yeah, it seems to have a more plastic construction if you just look at the game. Yeah, we're just engineering gigs real quick. Most of them do look pretty light, though, aside the E-Leader and the Hydra are probably some of the highest. And isn't the Rainmaker gold, too?
Yeah, yeah.
If it was actually solid gold, that's gotta be so heavy.
Well, I mean, I suppose that's why it's the heaviest weight class in the game.
But what did it... I'm surprised it hasn't...
Inklings don't have bones.
If a human tried to do that, the Inklings would get crushed. The human would get crushed if you tried to carry that.
True. Inklings don't have bones, though, so they can do whatever they want.
Yes, and speaking of weapons, well, the Majestic continues to pull out. Stingrays are good here. There are definitely some Stingrays. As the Siege and heavy mate. I'm sure you are rooting for some Stingrays.
Yes, I love Stingray, man. I see CJ pulled out a lot here. So, heavy remix. Heavy remix on both sides, actually. And we're seeing a Flings that get pulled out, too, by the Quotations.
Really
nice.
Coming out for the
Squiffer.
Squiffer as well. I'm sure they're going to play incredibly aggro in this situation. Because they've already got the backline. They've got the Flings as support, and then they've got Armor Missile Split and the T-Tech Slide. We see the K-Shot coming out, Bucket coming out. Those are nice, good pick. Bucket's gonna help a lot, sloshing over the ledges here, and though it can't quite reach, it's still gonna be helpful. And the Forge is an interesting pick. Bubbles are interesting on this map, because unlike in other modes, the narrow areas aren't gonna be used that much, so bubbles will help, but they won't be as effective in, say, Clams or Tower or Rainmaker on this mode.
We are in Tower.
Or rather, clams or zones or Rainmaker.
I suppose, I mean, arguably, you can use them for shielding on pit as they're actually being used now, especially in this exposed checkpoint here if you don't have a lot of cover. But that checkpoint is going to fall to the organic operators with very little resistance from the quotations. Forge jumping out, not quite sure why, but a couple of jump outs.
They went one or two down and decided that not risk death. I mean,
that's
you don't
fair.
see that much in a lot of play, even in big tournaments, because people will think if they can get a pick or two, that's probably worth a bit more. But they just like to jump out. Though I think that might have been the wrong call in this situation because they're so far from the tower. The ink that's coming out. The ink just gets shot down. There's still the booyah already. Quiet Quotations do have a chance to take things back here. But the bubbles, they pop perfectly to stop the booyah.
I think the booyah ate them.
Yeah, the booyah ate the bubbles, but the booyah got caught up on the bubbles as well. So it couldn't actually be thrown on the plat and had to get stuck around tower, so it didn't actually hit anyone, unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty back and forth here in these first couple minutes of the match, but Quotations is looking to keep this push on going.
Really getting a pick, but Forge stayed alive a lot longer than I thought they would. They dodged the first roller spin. We see the Hydra, there's a heavy death of Hydra on the side of Organic Operators. Looking for something, we got a member of Quiet Quotations over on that right fan trying for something. But it looks like the Organic Operators is just going to effectively ignore them for a little bit. That Squiffer's going to rush in, but they're going to be forced into a brief 2v1, and they're going to probably need to run at this point.
Yeah, the members of Quotations right now electing to take some pretty separated 1v1s or 2v1s, but it may have worked out in their favor as it looks like one of the members of Operators is down, and so Quotations is going to make another push on their favor. They do have one down, but they have that armor, they have the booyah as well. They're gonna make it all the way to that second checkpoint before their tower rider booyahs, but they've got pretty nice tower switching going on right now. They are unfortunately 2 down, so that Squiffer's gonna have to get on tower, and they are taken out. That's 3 down there, and the T-Tech respawning and coming back into mid. Actually, they might have just jumped out. So yeah, an effective wipe on the side of Quotations, and so Operators is afforded full control of mid right here.
Yeah, and Operators, though Quiet Quotations get the 46, there's no checkpoints in the way of Operators for taking the lead. They need to not die. It's a 3C situation in the field. Another chance, 2-2, though Organic Operators are the ones with specials, they could breach it. But the flinks that comes out of nowhere, knocking, the good thing that I looked at those armor is something that threw red off the tower. And Operators are going to move into position, they're going to start moving to, they've got the booyah already. There's going to be armor coming out the side of Quotations, which is going to make the booyah a bit less effective, but still going to force Quiet Quotations together. So Quiet Quotations is going to be forced to spend. They've lost a member. Organic Operators is ready to go, but their one special user went down. But it's a 3-on-1 situation in the favor of Organic Operators. They're going to get lead here for sure, unless a miracle happens for Quotations, and that does look like it's going to be lead. Yes, that's lead for Organic Operators. Swarming the tower. It looks like they had several members jump the tower to get to the checkpoint, but they're not going to get further. That checkpoint break is going to be even more just as important as the lead, because that means instead they push, they won't be slowed down by it, so they'll be able to keep moving and get points without having to worry about the checkpoint. Whereas Organic Operators are still going to need to get through a tiny bit of that checkpoint, get through that entire checkpoint to the lead, and they'll be stuck right there while they're trying to, or Quiet Quotations will be stuck right there while they're trying to get the lead.
We're going into the last 45 seconds of this match now, because Operators did suffer a delayed wipe after that push. Quotations were able to charge some specials. You saw the Inkjet, there's the booyah as well. However, that tower isn't even on plat right now. They used all of their specials just getting at this point, so they have very little resources, and the Quotations, the Operators do have those bubbles online. However, the T-Tech is going to get a nice pick there. Unfortunately, their teammates have gone 2 down, so they are unable to continue this push. 2 specials up on the side of Operators, and with 15 seconds left and little map control, no specials, and very little resources to bounce off of, Quotations has to go right here, right now. They do manage to take a pick on the try, which is huge for them. They can very much take this now. They have the armor, they are on plat. As long as they just do not relinquish control of the tower, there is very well a chance that they could take this. They just have to get through that second checkpoint, which is not good when that GG booyah is coming out. 2 down on the side of Quotations. Now they are so close, but so far, and with a member of Operators getting on the tower before either of the surviving members of Quotations can, that's going to be game 1 for Operators.
Yeah, you saw at the end the Inkjet trying to break that booyah. I believe Inkjet shots are weakened against booyah armor. So I think that hurt them, or they're just really slow. So I think that hurt them in the end. They should have gone for other picks instead of trying to shoot on the booyah, because they couldn't have. Was that any other covering fire? The booyah in the end there was nothing that could have taken them down. and then yeah, GG Booyah. That's the joys of tower control. If
Highly
someone throws
effective.
some explosives at the tower, dope, you're done. GG's.
For our next map, we're moving into Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park, also known as Slosher Heaven. So I want to see that try come back. I would be very surprised if it was switched off of.
It's also a good fun Stingray map. Maybe we'll see the remakes to switch over to either Jet or heavy vanilla heavy or hero heavy. Because Stingray, it's a pretty narrow map and it's Rainmaker, so you definitely want that Stingray to stop pushing, especially because the thing with this map is initially getting out of mid, pushes can get stuck a lot. But once you manage to break out of mid and get some specials up, pushes can snowball incredibly fast once you get some momentum.
Yeah, in addition for using Stingray on this map, there's lots of little places, the rails, the corners, and curves where the Rainmaker or anybody else can get stuck on and just fall victim to a Stingray, which is one of the reasons I personally really like using Stingray on this map. But as you mentioned, it's also just really nice to be able to stop Rainmaker pushes with.
Yes, and bubbles would help here. Any sort of shielding special because of how exposed some of the paths are. I mean, Hammer is good here as well.
Oh yeah.
You could see the return of the Splish 7, which we've only seen once during this tournament. Plus we haven't seen it more given it is somewhat popular in Rainmaker, I believe. And
that is true, yes.
We will see.
Yay, Hero Heavy!
We do see the... Yes,
Ooh,
GooTuber!
That's new.
That's the
awesome.
custom GooTuber, so we're gonna see, I believe that's a suction
curling
bomb
and...
Oh, curling inkjet, so same as every kit. The inkjet's another good push stopping special, and especially this map, because if you're defending, you have the high ground, so your inkjet's gonna have more verticality, and then a couple well-placed inkjet shots. It's difficult to shoot down the inkjet with the Rainmaker, so it can be a very powerful weapon in stopping Rainmaker pushes in place of like a Stingray. Oh, they're actually running... Is that a vanilla or neo splash? Because they might be running triple inkjet. Oh, that's a vanilla splash. They are running triple inkjet, actually.
Interesting.
On the side of Quiet Quotations. The mist from that neo splash is going to help slowing things down a lot, too. And triple inkjet, I mean, I feel like you'd want like a long-range special like missiles array, just because sometimes you can't get an inkjet launch safely. And it takes so much time, but... Looks like it's working. They're getting a bit of map control. We do also see, I like to put the bubbles on the forge, which will help a lot for pushing as well. And both sides kind of looking for an opening. Haven't really found one. Organic operators elect to grab the Rainmaker, but that mist is going to get in their way. And they're going to have to fight their way through this tight half pipe. And I don't think they will be. They're going to get flanked, but the flank is taken down. The Ray's coming out. Ray can get a pick or two. That's going to help a lot. And the Rainmaker carrier is just going for it, but their team is nowhere to be found. So they get a pick, and they're still dodging. They managed to get the 82, but that's really not much of a push in this map, given how this map can spiral down all the way to 30 or below. And they really needed to wait for their team there, but they just didn't. The GooTubers dancing around, get taken up with the Forge Pro, and Organic Operators are in a position to potentially extend their lead, but the Inkjets are coming out, pinning them down. Briefly, the Remix is forced into a corner, and I think it's going to be a stalemate for right now, with the Rainmaker being reset.
Yep. Forge did get a suction bomb pick there, which was pretty nice for their team. They're gonna be able to get pop off of that, and note that the Forge does have bubbles. They could bubble into half pipe, and with the this way, that actually looks like what they're trying to get their team to do. Mist, though, is still going to come out. They're bubbling in, and the Rainmaker's probably pretty far behind. Not really sure. I mean, they're really far up right now. They're just swimming around looking for picks right now. And the Rainmaker, I mean, I feel like they're just back in the half pipe. A nice... yes, a nice inkjet cancel. Unfortunately, the Rainmaker getting stopped prematurely, likely by this inkjet that we're seeing out of the custom goo here, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of operators. The K-Shot, the only one left alive, likely respawning as well. So this is an opportunity for Quotations to step forward a bit and take control of mid, hopefully getting a lead of, hopefully getting a push of their own, as they still have no points on the board.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Crustacean Crusaders, and I confused myself a little bit, but... Yes, I think it's going to be interesting to see the triple inkjet used defensively, because they've been using it defensively very well, not getting too many pushes. It looks like they're a bit stuck in half-pipe right now. They do get a pick, though. The missiles are coming out, and really, Quiet Quotations needs to find a way out. And it looks like they get the lead. They're pushing up the right path, though half their team's over on left. I think there's been a bit of a miscommunication here, trying to figure out... The T-Tech's taken down, and Organic Operators are going to lead, are going to have the first advantage. The lead is in the hands of Quiet Quotations. Not by much, but it's going to be the lead, and that's what's important in this situation.
Considering that we've got 2 minutes left, this is a surprisingly low-scoring game, with both teams not really having a huge break, just having small pushes that are getting extended. But there we go! That actually is the lead for Organic Operators, and here's exactly what you were talking about by pushes that could snowball. They just kind of, went in. Heavy is the only one left alive with that Stingray at the ready. Their teammates are responding now and actually jumping to them, which is a pretty wise decision. Looks like Quiet Quotations are going to leave that Rainmaker to respawn. They've got 1 minute and 27 seconds left, so it's not that bad of an idea. But they did lose the lead there, so they're going to have to find a way to get it back in this last segment of the game.
Yes, and they could. It's really close. They could definitely get back.
Ooh,
But it's also not going to help
up.
that one of the splash got blown up because
Yeah.
happens to the best of us. Honestly, it's always something if you're not careful. The GoTuber looking for a pick doesn't quite hit the shot. They're in a bit of a bad situation. They're a bit pressured right now. Looks like they're just dancing around trying to find something. Missing their shot in the heavy. I don't think Quiet Quotations doesn't appear to have much of an opening. They need to pop a special, start throwing bombs or something, trying to get an opening. But instead they're just getting pushed around. They're trying to push up. And oh my god, I don't know how the GoTuber was painfully close to death there. One of the Ancients looks like they came out, got shot down, looks probably heavy or something, took them out. And the GG Ray is online for Quiet Quotations. Not for Quiet Quotations, for Organic Operators, which means in their situation, I think it's likely that they're going to be able to win this. Oh, the GG Ray just go down. And actually, this is the opportunity Quiet Quotations need. They just need to get one good push. They've got the Ink Armor coming out. I'm sure they're going to get but the Tri-Slosher comes out of nowhere, and that's going to be the end of the push, and they've only got one more shot, and they might or might not get it.
Yes, with Operators being able to get pop there, and they're guarding the Rainmaker very closely. Quotations also goes 2 down, and with Operators grabbing that Rainmaker, choosing to cheese it out by swimming it backwards, that's going to be a game for them. Second game.
Yes, so they're going to be up 2-0, which means the next game is going to be Quiet Quotations is going to need to win Skipper, Pavilion, Clams, or go home. And
then, win all the rest of the matches. There is possibility for a reverse sweep here.
Any thoughts on this match?
I like this one. I like this.
It's such a confusing map to play, though. Like, it's really either extremely easy to push if your opponent's like one area gun guarded, or it's incredibly hard to push because of either the long ramp or the extremely narrow path.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Oh, because
Because it's confusing.
Ah, yes, a little confusion goes a long way, I suppose.
Honestly, one of my favorites, just because of all the possibilities, I suppose, that it affords. You have both top and bottom, both are viable ways to push, and so you've got to watch your flanks the entire game, which honestly is just part of the fun of it for me. I really enjoy playing on this map. I know a lot of people don't, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah, it's gonna really test these teams' coordination. I'm not sure how much they've practiced, but they're gonna need it if they need to, one, play Clams, which takes the most coordination, and play Clams on this map, which either push you try to make is going to require a lot of coordination to clear safe paths for it, and defending, you need to keep extra careful track of where all your opponents are, especially because there's like a company you can get stuck focusing on the top route, which is the most obvious, and someone can just sort of walk up with a brush on bottom, and oh hey, someone threw a power clam in, what's going on?
Part of the beauty of fast-paced Splatoon, brushes running around in this map will forever be a nuisance, but that's alright.
Yes, and we're going to see the Forge Pro coming out again. That's a really good pick. We see
Hey,
the Bamboo
MK3.
Mark III coming out, which is I think a really good pick here because the Fizzy Bombs are going to give them so much area control in areas, and the Bubbles are going to really help in pushing. And then we got the Flings are coming back out, another good area control weapon, and the Missiles are going to help a lot. The other team hasn't really changed. They're running the same comp. They seem fairly comfortable in it. And the Forge is going to be, I think, one of the more important weapons here, just using the Bubbles to push, especially with the narrow area corridors that we're going to see on this map.
Yeah, we're actually seeing really similar comps. Both teams have a V-Try and a Heavy Remix, and then missile weapons on both sides. We have the Flings on one side and the K-Shot on the other, so the real difference is between the MK3 and the Forge, which again are both bubble weapons. So bubble weapons, high damage midline, so just very, very similar comps here. These minute differences might make the whole game, or it could just be a question of mechanical skill.
Yeah, because we got the Sharking, we got Sloshes, but no difference of really the Tristan missile weapon and the Tristan bubble weapon, which is what's going to come down. I think the K-Shot's going to have advantages in being able to play aggro, the same with the forge, so the bamboo's gonna hit a bit harder, and the physical is you're gonna see more control from the weapons that Quiet Quotations chose to point out. So it's really gonna be which team, whether kills or area control are gonna matter more, and both matter equally. So it's gonna come, like you said, it might just come down to mechanical skill at this point because both teams have their strengths, and it's just gonna depend on who can kill each other more. And both tries
Yeah.
now. We see a 3C situation, missiles coming out. I think someone's trying for push, but someone's gonna take it out of the missiles, and both teams are kind of just chilling on their own sides right now. They can't really find anything. They don't have the specials yet.
Yes, it could also come down to the differences in momentum. Right now, Organic Operators is up 2-0, and that has got to hurt for the Quotations. So I do hope that they can brush that off and focus on the match at hand, because it really does hurt to get dejected after a couple of hard losses. But what really matters is that you have to keep it up. We're going to see a attempted push come out here from the Forge, using those bubbles to distract the person on them, but to no avail. The Try going to get a nice double there as well, going in for Clams. This is a small opening for Quotations to get something in, or maybe just at this point collect Clams, collect Turf, but the Try is going for some picks up by the spawn. Not going to find anything though, and they go 3 down, unfortunately, which is a huge opening.
Sorry.
It's a huge opening for Organic Operators right now, as they also have the Power Clam online. The K-Shot already going in for picks, gets one, forcing the MK3 back so far, and also providing pressure, and almost getting out alive. The MK3 does have to divert their attention though, and now the Tries, and it looks like actually that the Power Clam elected to go on to bottom instead, which I'm not quite sure why they did that, considering they were already on top. But that huge advantage might just go to waste as the Power Clan carrier gets taken out, those bubbles are shredded, and the game is back to neutral.
Like I said earlier about Quotations, I think that's what hurt both teams here, because you saw the players from Quiet Quotations go in on their recent push, but they just went in too fast, they didn't really have Clems. In this case, we saw them go and get some really nice picks, Organic Operators, but they were taken out before because their Power Clam carrier is behind. And now Quiet Quotations is electing to push up the bottom ramp. They've got the bubbles, they've got the booyah, they've got the armor, they just need to pop the ball. And they are. And they're going to go for it, and they're likely going to get a score here. They get the Power Clam in, but it looks like they popped the bubbles a bit early. Because by the time the bubbles weren't quite in a place that they could protect them as they threw it into the basket. And they do manage to score, get a score down to 74. Which at this point, it's probably not quite enough to win, but it's good, considering there's been not a score for the last 3.5 minutes.
Yep, we are 1 minute 25 seconds left in this game, and for all we know, if it continues to stalemate like this, that could have very well been a game-winning push. But we see a lot of Clems on the side of Operators right now. They have specials, they have map control, they're just trying to find any sort of opening in Quiet Quotations defense right now. Both, their basket is very heavily guarded, and both paths right now are not able to be cleared. We see the bubbles come out, the Booyah as well, and oh, the Forge, so close to making it, yet so far they're not going to get it. 2 down for Operators. The remix is forced to back off here on top, and that Clam is likely going to be lost.
Yeah, looking at the Operators, it looks like the Forge have tried to. They could have thrown that Clam in, I think, from there. But instead, they decided this is the bubble instead, which might have hurt them in the end. And they did do a good job of going the track. The Bamboo going for a pick, but just can't quite hit the remix. Remix is staying alive. The Bamboo tried to shred that Booyah, but instead is forced back by it. So the remix does go down, and Quiet Quotations have the person advantage. They got 2 specials. That's what they defended, but they don't have very many Clems. We've got 20-something Clems for the side of Organic Operators. If they can get specials, they can push, but they need specials, and they need more than one at this point.
Yeah,
they need specials, they need picks, and they don't have them. But they have specials, but they don't have picks.
Well, we're going to have to see those picks come out in the last 10 seconds of this game, plus about 20 seconds of overtime soon, because if they just get 2 of those Power Clams, then of course they will win. But the Try here on bottom just wreaking havoc, getting 1 pick, almost getting 2. Very, very nice job out of them, and just like that, down to only 1 Power Clam for Organic Operators. They're just trying to push in, but they don't have the people anymore. They have that 1 Clam left, but time is running out. As we all know, Clam's overtime is very, very short, and so with that, the game times out, and that 1 small push we saw from Quiet Quotations is going actually to be the game winner.
Yes, and that's going to put Quiet Quotations up 1 game. They're still behind, but at least they have a chance. And we get to see Triggerfish.
Let's go! I love Triggerfish. I'm so glad it appeared more than once in this tournament.
This is going to be interesting, because this map heavily favors range, especially on the zones, because it's a lot easier when you can shoot across the other zone. Splosher is broken here, from what I understand.
Oh, yep. There's also the question of coordination, as you were talking about earlier. Usually you'll see a 2-2 split with the two people on either side. And sometimes if these resources fail, if you have somebody go down unexpectedly on one side, you have to very quickly shift your attention to one zone or the other, which can make for really, really interesting plays, especially like you said, when you factor in range, when you factor in bombs, people shooting on one side from the other, and also the two ways that you can either take a really long flank around the backside, or you can push in, to the other team's zone. So it's really interesting.
Yes, and it's gonna be okay. So I don't think we'll see a Splasher. I think we'll still see the remixes come out because the Booyahs are gonna help. The Booyah can easily cap one of the zones. Forge is gonna be another good choice. Bubble is gonna help, especially if we need to push into one of the zones because of how narrow they are. The tries, I think, might be a good thing to switch off of, if anything, because they're a bit limited on range and there's not too many slopes. There's not too much you can take advantage of with a try here. And other than that, I think the shots may stay, but I think these teams would be beneficial for them to offer a little more range.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, being able to cap the other zone from your zone is very, very helpful, because then you don't actually have to go over and engage, whether that's in the form of just shooting the other zone or throwing specials at it or throwing subs at it. Like you said, having that remix with the combination of long main weapon range as well as those Booyah bombs are going to be really, really nice to have. Just to see what both teams choose in terms of Slayers, because usually most conventional Slayers have barely enough range or not enough range to reach over that middle gap, so it all relies on them, running over to the other side and getting picks. It's interesting. I've seen a wide range of things here, from your conventional T-Tech to clapples to splooshes.
Yes, and I think it's going to be important is that the teams, as you said, are coordinated, because if you get discoordinated, Bully Girl suddenly stuck on the ramp leading up to your own zone, and that's bad. We see the Hydra coming out in the tent.
Ooh, tent! We didn't talk about tent, but I like that.
These are all really good picks. Hydra's going to help a lot. It's got so much range, so much control. The mines can cover a lot of zone. The armor's going to help. It looks like try switch to a Nivo. The rain's going to help with weird. So it can control the entire street area. The bamboo is really good. The fizzies are going to want to control a lot of area, and the bamboo itself. And the tent, like we said, like you mentioned, is going to be so key. And the bomb kill, blowing the 10th player up. That's a 3 down for Quiet Quotations. Organic Operators is swarming. They got one. They might want to move one more member over to the opposing zone because they're a bit isolated at the moment, but they have the advantage right now. They got the rain ready, and Quiet Quotations is having a bit of difficulty pushing because of that Hydra. It's going to be difficult for them to actually get back into their own zone.
Yeah, they have that Booyah at the ready though, but no other specials. Heavy is going to pop that. Looks like they're putting it at the other zone. 3 down now for Operators, so this is going to be a moment for Quotations to breathe. Those bubbles protecting the Heavy from certain death as they do pincer. I believe that was the T-Tech of Operators. So very nice teamwork from them. Now the Heavy is using this range here to charge up another Booyah. I mean, look how close they already are to it. Someone's dancing on the rail for Operators. Very deftly avoiding shots there. And we're back to a bit of a stalemate right now.
Yes, so Operators do still have the lead, and Quiet Quotations are 2 down. They can't move in yet. The bubbles are coming out. The tent's in trouble. They're going to get shredded at this point. So they managed to survive that long. And the pro takes them out. They would have taken one more shot for the tent, but they just didn't have it. And Organic Operators is going to be extended lead. The pro is moving up so far. Painting over that rail so Quiet Quotations can't use it. Avoiding the bamboo. And they do need to paint the zone, but they've got Quiet Quotations very much on the back foot at the moment.
Yeah, true. Nothing matters if you don't have control of objective, and actually, nicely placed Booyah from Quotations attempting to take their zone, but it's just painted right over. Still, though, zone score hasn't changed for quite a while, as, like you said, Operators hasn't painted over Quotations zone, but they finally do, and with no penalty, the timer ticks down. We are below 50 for them right now. About 3 minutes left in this match. There are specials up for Quotations, though. Nicely placed bubbles. Unfortunately, the Forge is not alive for long enough to pop them. But with both the T-Tech and the MPK3 falls. I was going to say both of them would be a formidable force to push in.
Water now.
Did they fall? I thought they died.
Yeah, I thought you said it. I thought you meant fell, like literally fell.
Oh, no.
Oh, because you mentioned earlier that you wanted the last
Well, I do want to see somebody fall into the water, and I haven't seen it on stream yet, so come on, man, give us a show.
Yeah, can someone just jump in the water at the end if you can get it so Kater can be happy. Don't actually do that. Play the
I was
game,
already
please.
happy, but while you were talking about that, Quotations did go 3 down, which is not where they want to be. That Booyah is not going to come out in time. Operator's going to take that 4th game and take the set, so they will be moving on to Grand Finals.
Oh, hey, hi Endgame TV in our Twitch chat. Nice to
Oh,
see you.
hello there. Yes, indeed, nice to see you, and thank you all for stopping by.
Yes, and we do see looks like the last game is going to go to organic operators. I almost said operating operators, which is a bit redundant. The operators are operating operations. Operating operators operating operating systems. Yes.
All right. Before Quark knots his own tongue with however many redundancies he wants to make, we are going to go on a short break of a few minutes before we go. Before we go into Grand Finals, so do please stick around and stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome back to It's Dangerous to Go Alone May 2021. We are here in the grand finals. If you are just joining us now, I am Cater and I am joined here today by Quark.
Yes, and we're going to see the ambitious editions versus not ambitious, Adamant editions versus the organic operators. And,
it's fine.
well,
you did an additive starting with an
this
A.
edition is a mathematical operator, so
That's
we have some nice
it was meant to be.
going on. It was.
We are going to be starting off on.
Yes, we did just see the organic operators last round, and I'll wait to see if we see I'm sure we'll see that Forge Pro come out again, and
yeah,
it was the Forge Pro. I think we'll see very similar cost to them, and then I do remember we saw Adamant editions earlier today during pools, and they did really well. They were really good. We saw I believe was this the team with the Dynamo and the Range Blaster, right?
Was this the team with the Range Blaster that dropped 20 KA in 2 matches?
I think it was, which is gonna make this interesting if I am correct. Because, well, we get to see the Range Blaster of Death yet again. Hopefully they call it a Grim Range Blaster so they can become the Grim Reaper instead.
Would love to see that. We're gonna be starting off on Rainmaker on Schellendorf Institute, which, I don't like it, but that's just because I don't like Schellendorf. Schellendorf's a pretty interesting stage. You got the glass roof up top, which the Rainmaker can also take if they choose to get up there using a rail or a wall or some other method. You have multiple ways to push on this stage, actually. The area, the pathway on the left, the far left side, and then the stairs that lead directly to the pedestal, and then the part on right where you can use rails to take it.
So it looks like we're just about to get started, and Shell and Rainmaker, wait, I spaced that. Yes, this is going to be a fun one. You can get pretty fast just going straight through the center, but otherwise it's going to be a bit tricky.
There we go, there's the Range Blaster! Hey!
And we see a charger for the, a V-charger for the first time on stream, or any sort of V-charger or splash scope for the first time on stream, and the Ray is going to help them a lot. The range is going to help a lot. The Heavy is going to have a bad day, as I'm sure as a Heavy player you can attest to with fighting.
Yeah, relatable, honestly. Yeah, we all know how the Heavy charger matchup is.
2 down, and their charger's down, which is going to open things up a lot for organic operators. And the shot's trying to move around, but they just can't get anything. It looks like someone picked off the organic operators before they could get much further. It looks like the range.
Ooh, nice shot.
Getting the range. Popping missiles right for their opponents brazenly, but it still works. And we get that's a push all the way down to 43.
How did they not fall off the map?
80. Yes, that's a number. I swear I can read it. It's 41 or something. Yeah, 41.
I'm pretty sure that's 41. And it keeps on going. Ooh, bubble
They don't get too much further because of the Range Blaster. But
they're 3 down though. Additions are 3 down.
Damage, but they're just getting taken out again and again. The shot misses some of their shots, and the the Rainmaker nearly gets up the ramp, and they're just organic operators are not letting the pressure up, and Adamant additions are struggling to get out of their base.
Looks like finally the K-shot with those missiles coming out, they've finally gotten some form of footing under them. Unfortunately, the range is going to get taken down, but they have broken out of the lockout that operators forced them into. It is still not looking great. It is not looking great for them. However, we are only a minute and 30 seconds in with already a lead of 22 for the operators. So additions have the bar set quite high, but with all of this time left, they very well could still win this.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to get up. So they're going to have to take a long way around left or right, which is long, and they're dangerous. Especially if we see Hero Flare, the other team doesn't have a Ray, but that's going to hurt. And the Tri-Slasher is coming from behind, but they opt to just run the Tri-Slasher, and they're nearly getting to 27, but they just couldn't get the picks. The Ray's coming out a bit belatedly, and they really needed to take out that Tri-Slasher, but they just didn't have the spark to keep going, but the Tri-Slasher is sniped, putting an end to their chaos. The sniper goes down themselves. The K-shot's running around on glass. Looks like they're going to try to just secure the area a bit. So they're taken out, and the Rainmaker shield hasn't been popped yet. Adamant additions, they got a pick. They could go for it. They really do have an opportunity here. They don't have much quite yet, but if they can get that rain out, and they get the lead!
They do it! They take the lead! Like 3 points! They just slipped by!
Yes,
I mean, wow, that was really nice.
That's the only one member left of Adamant additions. And Yes. Oh, I thought that was a Hero Blaster for a second. I got confused. And I was like, wait, how's it that rain if that's a Hero Blaster? But now Organic Operators are going to move back up, and they have a chance. They can still get this, especially if they use the bubbles in the right place. But it's going to be as hard as it was to get through that first time. It's going to be even harder now.
Yeah, I'm seeing really close games on Schellendorf of all places. Rainmaker's in pretty funky mode on this, and we are seeing full on how weird it can be. Bubbles are gonna get popped, but the Rainmaker is just not able to keep up, and they go down. Pick the Forge getting a pick from the bubbles, but it's just not going to mean much right there, as the Rainmaker is still so far back and close to mid. The Ray also coming out to secure the area around Rainmaker and prevent any of operators from getting pop on that shield.
Yes, we see the missiles coming out. Looks like they're trying to find an operator. The operators are trying to find an opening, but they just don't have it yet. So they gotta pick the charger. That's gonna be key, because the Ray won't be there anymore for them if they want to try to push. And that's gonna help them quite a bit. But now they just need to get more picks, and that K-Shot's a bit isolated. The Rainmaker's got reset. The Rain Basher takes them out, doing what we do all again in there. It's just like the Range Basher isn't bragging this time. They've only got a couple kills.
Yeah,
well, more than a couple kills, but not the 20 we started. But as I said that, they kill someone, so I guess they were like,
looks like we're gonna kill somebody else too. It's like they heard you, you know? They might even be getting the triple there. There we go, triple! As soon as you said that, they pull off a very nicely executed selection of kills, and there we go, a delayed quad from this range blaster, showing off what they do best in this last 40 seconds of the game. They're up on glass now, 3 down to the side of operators, and the additions grabbing that Rainmaker.
Range Blaster going for even more. You see how far they're pushing up? They're trying to flank with a Range Blaster.
I mean, that could work, considering the skill we've seen this Range Blaster with this entire tournament. That's 3 down for operators yet again. This Range Blaster using the chip damage from the Ray to pull off that kill. Unfortunately, going to get picked off themselves, but the additions just continue to push, not letting up the pressure at all. They do go 3 down, though, with 7 seconds. This is what Organic Operators needs. They need to build up the paint and the specials now, but they have such a long way to go. It's going to be a struggle even to just get to mid now, but we have the overtime siren blaring. We have the Rainmaker, this ticking time bomb that they are. 2 down on the side of additions, though, so they very well still could make this happen. We've got just a few seconds left. The Charger not quite landing their shots on the Rainmaker, but unfortunately, operators going 3 down, and finally the Charger just landing the snipe to put that to an end.
Yes, and that's going to be game 1 for Organic Operators, this best of 5, and yes, single elimination, not double, so we don't have to worry about a bracket reset, thank God, but yeah, the Range Buster is showing just how good they are, getting 16 KA, with the shot on the other team getting 14, so it looks like we've got some really good Slayers on both sides, and we're going to have a bit of a slugfest coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these this next goes. Like you said, we're going to be going to Clams on Piranha, which is it's a long map. It's just one long line.
Yes. Big line. So on Clam, it's like a line with a couple routing paths, but there is one path in, unless you want to use the rail and try to swim up one of the conveyors, though, which is a strategy. You might not want to do it carrying a power clam, but if you can sneak around and get some jumps in, that could be brutal. Or if you can sneak around and slap a beacon down there and your opponents aren't watching their maps. All sorts of funny stealth tactics can be deployed in this situation.
Yeah, definitely. Not sure whether we're going to be seeing many changes out. I believe both teams have generally found what they're comfortable with here. It's again just going to be a matter of coordination, especially with, you know, how Clams is, and with that Forge, the bubbles that they have are going to be crucial.
Yes, and I think we might not see the splatter scope again. The Ray could be very good here. I'll be interested to see. I think we saw Dynamo out of this team earlier a lot, so. Or I said, not a second enemy, that's a different team. I think Fox was on the team as well, interestingly enough. But out of Adamant additions, and I think the Dynamo may help if they choose to go that instead of Scope, just because how much control you can get with it. But it comes at the risk of being exposed to, say, the Remix or the Forge Pro.
Definitely, there's a lot of pros and cons with you know, all the situations that you could be in with both teams' comps, and so it's just gonna come down to how these teams decide to navigate these differences between the matchups that both comps have.
Yeah, and I think the Charger will be a good pick if they do pull it up, because Charger works really well against the Spotling. And we see the same comp coming out of Organic Operations.
Ooh,
And then
Thunder!
we see the Thunder. We see very interesting comp coming out of. It's like God, now someone mentioned in chat. I'm gonna keep saying, Adamant Editions with both the remix and the. Is that a? Is that a K? I thought that was a V Dynamo for a second. I was like, what? So a lot of range with the Range Blaster and the V Dynamo and the Rip. So it looks like they're just gonna try to keep things spaced out. But a map like this that might be a bit difficult with the try and the shot running around. That might make it a lot harder for them to actually be able to not just get rushed down. And that Thunder is going to be really important, getting armors, and it's also going to make it a bit easier to push him with the shield. And I'm not it's an interesting pick. I think it'd be more see it on like Tower and maybe a tighter map, but I think it definitely can work here.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, they did end up going 3 down. However, again, not much going to be happening in this first minute of the match. A lot of... Okay, you know what? As soon as I said that, there was just this random push out of the Thunder on the side of Additions, somehow slipping past all of Operators, who I was going to say had very nice map control, and we're in a great position to do something. Just gonna randomly throw a clam in, which is a nice beginning of the game score. However, it does give Operators a free pity to work with. Then again, though, Operators are 2 down, so they're not gonna be in any position to push, especially with that try having to hold their armor waiting for their teammates to respawn.
Yes, and Adamant Editions are gonna push back up. They've got the torpedo. I think that's a blaster up this. The torpedo. Narco doing a really good job using their torpedoes. They're looking for an open. They do get a pick. They've got the Booyah ready. It looks like they're in a position. They're 2 down. Both the Remix and the Forge Pro down. They're in a position to get another stronger push. But the Power Club is pushed down, trying to jump in, and the Thunder is stuck in a 1v1, and they miss, and the K-Shot shreds their shield, and is going to move into a position. They've got hopefully enough clips. The range takes them out somehow. It looks like there might have been a bit of lag there. Yeah, and the Organic Operators are going to be pushed back again. The range is keeping them back. But the range is taken up by a stray bomb, which is going to help them a lot. This is how powerful that range blaster was. Both sides are 1 down, Organic Operators losing their try and their armor, so not going to be able to push just yet. And they're still being pressured by Adamant Editions, but Organic Operators isn't in a position. They got 3 specials. If they can get a pick or 2, they're going to be in a good position to push here, and they can directly do a lot of damage. And they get the range blaster, they get another, they got the bubbles coming out. They go for the Thunder. Thunder's going down. That's a 3 down, but it looks like the Dynamo Thunder takes about last second. But they've got an opening. They can go. They just need to move, and they are moving. They get the power. We saw the Tri-Slasher going around. They're gonna be like a part that they start getting score, and that's going to the lead for Organic Operators.
Yeah, the lead by just a few clams, as you see the try on that side. They end up getting a pick, too, which is very surprising considering the sticky situation that they were in before getting taken out themselves. 2 down on Operators now, as they do have the lead by a few points there, but it is a very tentative lead, especially with the nice position that Additions are in the range, considering using this rail, but eventually against it. They're popping that rain for the chip damage and the paint, pushing in power, and using that rail to very narrowly escape the barrage of projectiles fired in their direction by the members of Operators, who very understandably want them gone. They're just using these ledges and cover not ledges, but walls and covers so well. They're finally going to fall to the Tri-Saucer, though. However, the Remix trying to take that rail, they're going to fall. But
and
the Dynamo jumps in.
But they're going to be fully wiped, and that's going to be a really bad situation for Additions now.
Yeah, they were so close, yet so far. 1 more clan would have gotten them the lead. We have 1 minute and 23 seconds left, which is not much time at all. But our Operators are already in a nice position. The try almost falling to the same fate as the Remix did with that power clam, but very wisely deciding not to. And you have the Forge again with very nicely placed bubbles
behind them, and that's gonna hurt. The power clam goes in. I don't know how they didn't see that, but I guess they just. Well, I mean, it is a third person, so they have the same view as us, and they couldn't see that. That's gonna hurt. But they're gonna set up to. Organic Operators is gonna be the continued push, and Narco does look like they're gonna move in a position where they can push, and they're gonna go for it, and they're gonna get. They're fighting. They get the K-Shot, and that's gonna rope things right up. With 1 power clumping in, the other one jumping in, getting the lead under 60, getting down to 57, and that's gonna be key. It looks like they missed one of the power clams, but still, though, Organic Operators just need to dunk and clam, and they will take the lead.
Yeah, getting that second power clam in would have made it so that Additions had a much more secure lead, getting to 37 instead of 57. So it is unfortunate that they weren't able to, because like you said, if just 1 clam is dunked, that will be lead for operators, and they very well have the resources to do that. They've got that Booyah at the ready. They have very many clams online. That Kunder here on the right, baiting out the Heavy a little bit. We've got 10 seconds left, and that Heavy is going to get crossfired into next week. Has multiple specials coming out for the side of operators right now, but they go 3 down, and that's unfortunate. The power clam's gonna drop.
Actually.
Yeah, the Heavy's trying. They get the power clam. They're running for the basket. They get in the power. They get it. They take the lead. Wow. That is a game for organic operators, and we are now 1-1 in this grand finals best of 5 set.
Like, if that was a junior doing that, I wouldn't have been surprised at all, because the movement, they can hit the feet really
yeah, but
fast.
Heavy Remix
doing that?
And
Yeah.
with the 2 people with 15 KA, actually, the Forge and the Blaster, a lot of work being put in, but wow, I'm very surprised.
I mean, yeah, me too. I was thinking, I saw the torpedo crown and I was like, they're dead, but the bubbles, I think, kept them, kept them from taking enough damage from the dynamo for the torpedo to kill them, and all I needed to do was just hit the button, and they hit the button right before they died.
Well then, we're seeing some very tense matches in this grand final set, which is great. We're being given a show. For our next map, we're headed to Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track. Believe the first time we've seen Humpback on stream. It's a nice map, another one that favors sloshers heavily, so would not be surprised to see those tries come out yet again, as well as heavy remixes, just because Booyah Bombs can take zones very nicely. But also, I mean, I do want to see a K Dynamo come out. That's actually another really nice weapon for Humpback.
Yeah, and I think the Range Buster, we're going to see the Range Buster again. They've been rocking it the whole time. I don't see any reason for them to switch. So I wouldn't be surprised if this would be a good map, maybe switch to good range so they have the burst bombs for more close combat, which they might be forced into here. But the rain and the suction bomb for all the air control could still work as well. Dynamo, like you said, really good pick. I'm sure we're going to keep seeing the Tri-Slosher, and I doubt Organic Operators is going to change their comp because it's been working for them, and all the weapons are going to play well in Humpback, I believe.
Yeah, there's really not much more to say as we're in Game 3 of this Grand Finals. I mean, teams have got to be feeling a little bit tired. I mean, going through a whole tournament is no small feat, and so there's a little bit of a factor of exhaustion here as well. Teams have to, just take momentum, take everything they can get, take all of their remaining energy, and just put it all into these remaining matches.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting map to see really which team is going to be. It's going to come down to air control, I feel like, because the range of the Dynamo are going to give Adamant additions so much air control because of the chip damage and stuff. But then again, we saw the the aggressive potential of Organic Operators just to between the shot and the Forge and the Tri-Slosher, they can do a lot of damage really quickly if they need to. Which might not be said for the somewhat slower comp.
Explode! Let's go! On both sides!
And we see a brush coming, no Dynamo, but we see an Octobrush, Vanilla Octobrush coming out, which I think is a good pick because it can do it similar to the Tri-Slosher of Slayer. It can use all the slopes to their advantage. And we see the K-Share coming on both sides, good all-around pick. And the first cap is going to go to the side of the Adamant Editions, though they are down players, and okay, they didn't actually get the first cap. They nearly got it, but the Organic Operators are now going to get the first cap, starting to push their score. I think. Oh, I thought that was an inkjet. There aren't any inkjets on the orange side. But yes, we see the bubbles coming out. The brush looking to try to pick them off, but they do get the pick. It's gonna be 3 down for Organic Operators really fast despite those bubbles coming out, and Additions are going to be in a really good position here to push up, especially that inkjet. Yep,
there was the wipe, actually, a full wipe on Operators. So they are now not in a great spot. Additions holding onto that zone, very close to lead here. However, there are still things happening. The X-Flow using that really long range and huge paint output. Unfortunately, 2 of their teammates have gone down, so they can't really do anything except for sit back and baller to stay alive. As you know, everybody's going to be shooting for them. Rain's really using, well, their range to shoot over these ledges and take out, or try to take out, members of Operators. Meanwhile, we are already in the 30s for Additions. Range finally going down, but not before they take out their enemy. However, Operators only get the zone back, preventing too much damage from being done, and because Additions held onto that zone for so long, they're going to have a hefty penalty of 50 slapped onto them.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, the expos I think are really important here just because of how much area control they can get and how many different places they can hit, just making it a struggle to move. Though it is gonna be, I'm surprised Editions comp has been, the range is really a bunch of putting a lot of work in being aggressive because you have a charger and an X-washer, you're not really aggressive with this, compared to the more aggressive comp of organic operators. The organic operators are getting held back by that rain. Looks like the defensive comp now that it can set up play defense is working a little bit better than the organic operators might have playing defense with a more offensive comp. But the K-shot going for some picks. Okay, it looks like that charger just got away. The rain's not going to take them out. The K-shot continuing to go for picks. The Explos force the baller in, and if they get shredded, they're dead. And they are dead now. Missiles coming out, and it looks like organic operators are saying, we are not going anywhere yet, and we're going to camp every ledge we possibly can.
Well, that's exactly what's happening here. The Charger falling victim finally to this jumping K-shot that we've been seeing, putting so much pressure even with their shorter range. That, again, is lead for operators. The Rain gonna get popped, though, but it's probably just gonna get painted over unless there could be some follow-up. Rain's gonna take out the K-shot, finally falling, but we are in the single digits right now for the operators. They get to 2, and now it is just fighting for the zone. Yeah, Addition's just not able to hold on to the zone for long enough, and that's going to be a game for organic operators.
Yeah, the bubbles at the end were key. Otherwise, Adamant Editions would have been able to reclaim that, but with the bubbles getting popped last second, that allowed them to take them. Yeah. We do see. Oh, someone only got 0 kills. That's a doof. But 10k
the range still.
That range pop putting so much work in, but it looks like Adamant or organic operators is doing a good job of seeing to know if we take out the range, it's gonna be so much easier for us, and they've been taking out the range.
Yep. We are going now to tower control on Starfish main stage, which is well, we didn't see this on stream, but it was a map that was played earlier in pools in round 3. So this is a little bit of a throwback to that round for both of these teams. Should be quite interesting to see. We are on game 4, I should remind you, and this is tournament point for the organic operators because if they win this, they're going to be taking the entire tournament home.
Yeah, and I think the range blast could be a good pick here.
Definitely.
Another situation, they could go to Grim, they could stay on regular range, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if we'll see the brush again. I think we will see either a Charger or a heavy spot lane out of either team because those are going to be good here, given the fact that, as I believe you mentioned other times we commentating, that those kind of weapons, it's really good for them here.
Definitely. Yay, Hero Heavy.
Hero Heavy. We see, and in the Chargers, so both sides are going to have Stingray. I think this is one of the few matches we've seen on stream with 2 Stingrays, actually.
Well, here we are. And the machine coming out of Nug on Adamant Editions too, which is a pretty nice pick. I mean, like we were saying, Starfish is nice for those Slayer weapons that do like having flanks. They can go around on either side, so it should be nice. Splatter Soap already asserting dominance very quickly on with a nice snipe on one of the members of Operators, though, and so that's going to be Addition with the first take of the tower.
Yeah, and like you said about flanking, this is also a map you can flank with backlines. Because the trade coming out,
not a trade.
Happening.
The full wipe, though.
Yeah, so Adamant Edition, or Organic Operators are completely wiped. Or no, Adamant Edition's a complete wipe.
Yes.
It's a full wipe for Organic Operators. They're in a great position to move up. They probably can pretty easily reclaim the lead here. They've got 2 specials. They can pop those bubbles across the sniper over there. That's gonna help. And the Ray's coming out, but it's not gonna get anyone. Or it does get someone. They're nearly close. They didn't pop the armor early enough to armor over it. But the bubbles are coming out a little bit early, I think, just to keep themselves alive. They get the lead though. The range rather is gonna take them out. Using its air of effect to control tower, and now Organic Operator is going to force it back up and probably get that Ray ready.
Yeah, it could have been probably a lot bigger of a push than it was, but still was a nice push out of Operators there. And we are just going to, again, go back into this stalemate state that we've been seeing with so many teams on stream now, where they're just both looking for an advantage, and actually not quite a stalemate. It's just going to be Adamant Editions with another push of their own, trying to get back in the range, almost with that rain ready to probably pop it as soon as they have it. And there it is. Their zap has gone down, unfortunately, and another member has decided to jump off. They're so close to lead, though. Unfortunately, it looks like they're just going to cut their losses and back off from the tower.
Yes, and looks at the Charger getting forced very far back. They're gonna get the Ray ready, which they can use it offensively and defensively. Both teams have Rays, so it's gonna be difficult for. And the first Ray comes out from Adamant. Additions. That's a completely different word. I don't know what happened there. Excuse me. Anyway, another Ray coming out as Adamant Additions try to push, and the Organic Operators are one down, and Adamant Additions do have the chance to push here. But the bombs are gonna sail onto tower and blow up one of the members of Adamant Additions, with another going down as well. And the Forge is gonna clean up one of them. The machine being last, and Organic Operators will hold their lead.
Yeah, hold their lead by 1 point, but it is still a lead as we go into the second half of this match. And I swear to God, if this is where the score stays, and this is how the tournament ends, I am going to scream. But one down on the side of Operators. Even so, they continue to make their way downtown on the tower.
Unfortunately, my way downtown.
Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. But stopping the co-commentators from singing on stream, we have Organic Operators deciding to extend their lead as they. No, you cannot sing Seven Nation Army on stream because I'm going to talk over you. We have them clearing that first checkpoint there. The Ray gonna come out from Additions. Tries still getting a pick before getting taken out by it. Very nice. All the way to 48, and we have 1 minute and 37 seconds left with that push. Still going there at checkpoint 2 and showing no signs of letting up. You know what? As I say that, they go 2 down.
They are taking out the machine being really well. The range getting a nice pick. That's going to help a lot. The fact they've broken the second checkpoint, and the first checkpoint is important. The second one really what's going to decide this. Because that's the checkpoint that's probably the hardest to get through because of how many ways it can hit from.
Oh, definitely.
The first one's difficult, but if you coordinate reasonably well, it's doable. But the second one, that's where it's really getting hard. So I think looking at how Adamant Additions has been playing and is playing right now, they certainly have a chance. They just need to really just let their Range Blaster get them in a position to do the damage, and the Range Blaster will do the damage for them.
Looks like that's exactly what's going on.
And not walking into that bomb or those missiles.
Well, they are certainly avoiding that. They're avoiding the missiles as well. One down for Operators, but you see they have that Ray online from the Heavy. 45 seconds left, and we're gonna see if that GG Ray gets popped. It looks like it is. Range looking for picks. They have that range, so they're gonna pop it. Right now, the Ray has run out. The machine splash is the only one they have, and the machine gets taken out, which is gonna be really, really unfortunate. Bombs on tower. The range is riding, which they really want to be off getting picks, but now they are. Oh, they get taken out by the try.
The worst possible time.
Yeah, with 18 seconds left, Adamant Additions is 2 down, and Operator's just going to take back the tower. They have those armors, the bubbles, and there's a sharking zap, but they immediately get found out. And with the charger being the last one left, 3 seconds left, 2-1, a last minute pick, but it's just not enough, and that is the game, the set, and the tournament for Organic Operators.
Yes.
They
are going to win IGGA May 2021. Yay! I don't know if they get anything, but we're all cheering for you. So, yay, good job. You guys did a really good job. And both teams, amazing play. We saw Adamant Additions earlier. We saw them now. They did really, really good. And I think both teams can be incredibly proud of how well they did today.
Yeah, remember that a lot of these players are free agents, so if you like how they played, find them in the server, shoot them a DM or something. You know, I'm sure lots of these players would be happy to hear from you. We saw amazing displays of skill out of a lot of individual players, as well as some great team coordination. Considering these teams haven't had a lot of time to practice together, they've executed a lot of great plays that we've seen on stream here. So congrats to all of them. Thank you to everyone who played, whether it was as an emergency sub or as an already signed up player. We appreciate you all very much.
Yes, and right, we should do the little self-promo thing.
Oh yes, where can the wonderful...
We're supposed to technically talk about ourselves, I don't know.
Where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet, Cork?
I'm at StrangeCorked on Twitter. I occasionally tweet things. I usually just retweet art or memes or whatever I happen to find on my timeline.
And
I don't have much to say.
No, that's fair. I am at Cater_ on Twitter, where you can find me talking about a lot of the other stuff that I plan to commentate, as well as making art, programming, and doing all the fun little stuff that a TO does. Yeah.
I occasionally things, don't say much. And
yeah,
also
again,
check out at LeptoFlare on Twitter, even though there's nothing
Yes, Lepto, our wonderful
check out our cool streamers Twitter at LeptoFlare, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
And again, thank you all in the audience for coming out and watching this. It was a great job, great time today. I hope you all had as much fun watching as I did commentating. And thank you all.
Goodbye.